You two can both see the chat on your end, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see the chat.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I see it. What, are we ready? Can they hear us?
Yeah, they should be able to hear you guys.
There's some people already commenting right now.
Yeah, I see that. What's on? What's up, brothers? What's up, family? I see y'all. Let's see here. Peace, Simone Phoenix. What's good, Alteric Wilson? Shondell, what's up? He said he was coming on. Shondell, deep voice in the house. We got, let's see here. Daryl Hardnett. So we need sports so blacks can enrich and entertain whites. I hear you, brother. We're going to get into it. Dirty Water, what's going on? Black Venture, I see you. Tamasha, hey, fam, how you doing?
Daryl, man.
Dex, what's going on? Tamasha says, hello, begging for change.
What's up, Tamasha?
I appreciate that. Shondell said, happy birthday to me, man. I appreciate that. You know, I'm old today. I reached 36 years old. You know, that's like almost 14,000 days old. Sun rises. So I feel very wise in my own right today. You know, not many of us have saw 13,000 sunrises, you know. Say this is a call-in show, Shondell, man. Of course, if we can, we'll open that line up to you.
That's
I'd love to hear your take on this.
Yeah, we want to hear everybody's opinion on this, not just mine or Kev's, but the subject go deep.
Absolutely. Tamasha said, "Shut up, I'm 50." I hear you, Tamasha. 50 young though, 36 is old. That's just I'm just being hard on myself. Hi, it's Nikki. Peace to you. Bernard Kirksey. I see you, brother. Peace. Tika the original. Thank you very much. I hear you, Shondell. 41. Dang. Dex say live from the Caribbean. Big ups to the Caribbean, man. Shout out to y'all. Like, where y'all from? Let me know where y'all from for a little bit, man.
Tamasha. Let me say hi to everybody too, man. I didn't want to interrupt Kev's his
so how do I talk to my daughter about the truth when her mom is deep in the church? Alteric Wilson, that is an absolute great question, man. When in a situation like that, where the mother's going to have a little bit of power in that area to even keep you away from the child, and believe me, they will do it when it comes to their beliefs. I would say this, man: have personal conversations with your child, and just challenge the basic thoughts first. You feel me? Like challenge the idea of Santa Claus. How nuts is it that this man can go down every chimney when, number one, we don't even have chimneys on every house? And why does he negate the poor people? There's people who dying of hunger. Why is Santa eternal? Who created Santa, right? So think about stuff like that. And when you question your child on things like that with the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, and all these other mythical characters that we grew up believing in, your child will themselves begin to question the other beliefs. But see, we were never probed like that as children. We just was told to believe in it. So if you teach them how to think, they will outthink it. That would be what I would do. You never have to really target Christianity, period. Just teach their mind to be skeptical. And I promise you, man, it'll help. So yeah, let's see here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is highest, Nikki. Wow. Biloxi, Mississippi. Simone said from England. Wow. Shout out to England. Shondell, New Orleans. Who that? I hear you, brother. So much that she chilling on the beach. I am jealous. Carbondale, Illinois. I see you, Bernard. Okay, DMV in the room. Okay. Tika the original is Houston, Texas. Look at there. Tamasha and Shondell don't found out they neighbors. Look at there. Tim Thomas, that's right. Critical thinking. That's it right there. And absolutely, Dallas Fort Worth is LeSean. Absolutely. Peace, LeSean, man. Welcome in, brother. You know, I love my man LeSean. He always take care of me, look out for the cookout, man. This guy right here is amazing. Him, of course, Ricky, Baking for Change, Tamasha, Vanessa Dixon. A lot of you guys, man, are just mind-blowing. Eden, man, y'all really be looking out for a brother, man. I really appreciate that. And believe me, there are some names I didn't say. There's so many of y'all who help out. I really appreciate that. But I don't want to just ramble, guys. We're gonna get right into this topic. It is to me, it's a needed discussion. It is probably going to be controversial to a lot of people. All right, but what we want you guys to do is just really think about this. Why do we have some of the desires that we have? Why do we contribute to some of the things that we contribute to? So let's keep those things in mind before we get started. Alteric says, my wife, my ex is still a member of the church after the pastor cheated on his wife with one of his deacon's wives. And it's still the head of the church. She hates cheating men, but she's still a member. Listen, man, when it comes to religion, people will accept things that they would never accept. They believe that, hey, God is going to change it and make you a better person through it, and they will completely disregard it. They'll say that's between you and God. But if you don't profess the religion, they'll judge you, which is crazy.
What's going on, Pay Homage?
So I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here soon. Thank you very much, Charles McCullough. Oh, yeah, keep in mind, guys, send the donations through, please. Today is my birthday, so if you're in a giving mood, please donate to the cause today. Help me pay some of these hospital bills. Help me get some of these supplies that I need with, my food and everything that I need while I'm healing from the surgery. And I thank you guys in advance. And, I always say actions speak louder than words. So, yeah, keep in mind, man, today is my birthday. So if you're in a giving mood, please, I would love financial help. So I need it, and I would be very, very grateful. Believe me. But guys, we're going to get right into this, man. So the topic of the day is, why do we love sports, or why do we need sports? Is that correct, Ricky?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're just going to talk about sports.
You there, Ricky? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Ricky, can you hear me?
Kevin, can you hear me?
Ricky can't hear me right now. We got to get that fixed.
Yeah. I can hear you. You can't hear me.
Ricky, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you, Josh.
Okay. It's going Kevin's in.
Okay.
I can hear you, Josh. I think Ricky's hearing me late.
Okay.
Is he watching the?
No, I hear you good, man. I hear you like real time.
It's a delay.
It's a delay.
Do you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Am I delayed with my response to Kevin?
You're good, Rick. It's on Kevin's. It's on Kevin's.
Okay. So it's on Kevin's side.
Josh, I haven't spoken like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So I just heard him. Okay.
No, Josh.
It can't be.
Yeah.
No.
I'm here in real time.
It can't be.
I thought it was real time. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say hello.
Yes,
hey, LeSean. What's up, LeSean? What's up, Shandell?
Okay.
Nikki,
let's
Tamasha.
It is 8:16. So let's see whenever you finally hear me.
I hear you. 8:16. We're gonna get this fixed. What's up, Patience? All right.
I've been said it though. That's crazy. Josh, you hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like is it? Okay. Yeah, it's still 8:16, man. I mean, as far as like 5:16 where I am.
How was y'all having a conversation earlier? Now it's off. That's funny.
Yeah, it's delayed. So hopefully.
No, guys, it's still extremely late. It's taking y'all about 20 seconds to hear me.
Okay. I mean, so what we gonna do about that? Is that on my end, Josh? That delay?
Because I'm talking to you real time, so that's what's confusing me. So it's like Kevin's in the future somehow.
Josh, you want to hang me up and call me back?
I can't hang you up. You can hang yourself up because it'll close the chat for everybody if I do that.
Yeah.
If you hang yourself up, I can invite you back to the chat.
Shandell said it wouldn't be a Sunday show without some computer glitches. All right, so while we getting Kev situated, I'll kind of do a little introduction. I know last week I touched on tithes and offerings and just some money situations with the church, and so just thinking about a topic this week. I know football season is coming up, and I know football is a big thing for us. So I just wanted to kind of just think about sports and I've always had the mindset of maybe like sports being something that was unuseful. Not just I get it, it's entertainment. We need time to unwind, but just all of the money and all of the energy that goes into sports and entertainment.
I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. So is it? Can you hear me just real time? Like there's no delay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what I was saying was the reason why I chose this topic is just for a long time I've always thought that like entertainment and sports, I just felt like we have enough. We're in a perpetual cycle every year of the same thing, whether it be holidays, whether it be just different as the seasons change, the sports change, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, and these are some of the things that we kind of look forward to. I just wanted to kind of think about the mindset behind that. Why is that? Why do we look up to athletes so much? Why they get paid so much? I understand why they get paid so much because the sport generates so much revenue to allow them to be paid the amount of money that they do. When there's other jobs and other careers and other professions that are of so much higher importance in my view, and that get paid substantially less money than sports. So I just started to think about it. I was like, why do we even need sports at all? What would our lives be without sports? And so it just it made me just kind of research some things and just start thinking about some things. But before I get too deep into it, I just wanted to give a little bit of motivation first. So first, I just want to say let's donate to Kev, not just because it's his birthday. We got to take care of each other. And we have to look out for each other. If you can, preferably, just donate to him on PayPal, so that way I think the funds are readily accessible to him almost immediately, if not a day or two from when we deposit the money into the account. But if you can't do PayPal, then of course donate in any method that you can that's convenient for you. But PayPal would be preferable so that our brother can get the funds as soon as possible. So let's do that. And then also just last week, I just actually want to make a clarification. I know last week I was talking about the Antoine Fisher story, and I indicated that the doctor was Dr. Williams. A friend reached out to me and was like, Ricky, it's Dr. Davenport. But Davenport was in the movie, the dramatization, but the real doctor was Dr. Williams. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up because somebody gave me a hard time about that. But before I get started, in this introduction, I just want to give you a little bit of motivation, okay? So, and in this motivation, sometimes the universe is going to give us an opportunity. And sometimes we're not ready for the opportunity. I know whoever listens to motivational speakers, they always say it's better to be ready for an opportunity and not have one than for an opportunity to present itself and you not be ready for it. Sometimes the universe is just going to put an opportunity in front of you. It's going to put your immortality in front of you, and all you have to do is just reach out and grab it. And sometimes we be like, oh, immortality. We're like, oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. So I give you an example. Rosa Parks, right there, boom. All she didn't want to get in the back of the bus. She didn't want to go to the back of the bus. And she made a choice. She made a decision in that very moment that changed history, and she didn't even know it. So sometimes the thing that you can do that may seem very insignificant at the time, but sometimes we gotta make that choice and we gotta make that move, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. Give you an example. I just got on YouTube in November, actually Facebook, in November of last year. I put up a video. Josh reached out to me and said, Rick, hey, can I share this video to my page? I was like, man, do whatever you want to do with the video. I put it out. He's like, you're going to get a lot of negative attention. I was like, let it be. I was like, I put it out. I stand on whatever it is I stand on. Um, at that time, I never spoke to Kev at that particular time. I woke up one day, my son called me from his mom's house and said, Dad, I'm watching your video on YouTube. And I was like, I didn't put a video on YouTube, son. What are you talking about? He's like, hey, it got like 50,000 views. Okay, so Kev reposted one of my videos, and I had a conversation with him. He gave me some good advice concerning this whole thing. Um, we spoke for about 30 minutes. Usually when Kevin's a public figure, I've listened to a lot of his lectures at the African Village. Never thought I would be in this type of relationship with him at all. Because when people get a certain type of publicity and popularity, they change a little bit. So when he reached out to me, and he said that we was going to be close and we were going to be friends and we was going to have this relationship, I really didn't expect it. I just thought maybe he was going to call me, he was going to talk for a few minutes, then that was going to be the end of our situation. You go on about your life and I go on about mine, and that hasn't been the case. So we've talked on multiple occasions. He calls me, he reaches out to me. So again, I never thought I would be in this position. Never ever thought I would be in an audience with this many people expressing my views. So again, it's like I said before, you never know when this opportunity is going to come. Now, what I also again want to point out, because we got a lot of people who love that Bible and they love that book. So I'm gonna give the example of the 10 virgins with this parable with this mythical character Jesus, when he said that when the 10 virgins, when 5 of them had oil for their lamps and the other 5 didn't, 5 had to go back and buy some oil, and the other 5, they went in with the bridegroom and the door was shut. So sometimes I remember the time Shundell put up a video and he said that, you know what, if I would have acted on that idea that I had, he could have created the first Kindle or the first online books, or books being read on tablets, electronic books. So he had that idea, but he said he didn't act on it. So he lost out. So the door on that opportunity was shut. Again, sometimes we just got to reach out and grab immortality as it comes our way. So again, going back to this topic, why do we need sports? Okay, so when I start digging into this topic, and if you want to come in at any time and say anything, Kev, just please, please come in and share your thoughts. When I was having this idea, when I started thinking about this topic, I'm like, okay, sports. And then what I started thinking about is all of the similarities that sports actually have with religion. I know Kev talks about, the origin or the root word or the etymology of the word religion is religare. Okay, so it means to bind, it means to tie up. Okay, so I'm like, look how many people are tied up. Look how many people are entangled in their sports team. Okay, let's just take football for example. Like when you have a sports team, whether you be from the city or whether you just be like your parents or fans of this particular team, you before you even born, you're a certain fan. Okay, let's just say Green Bay Packers. If your parents are Packers fans, you don't really have a choice. You 9 times out of 10, you probably gonna be a Packers fan. So I just started looking at all of just the same with religion. If your parents are Muslim, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a Muslim. Okay, so I just looked at all of the similarities. So again, all of the money that's spent, billions of dollars annually, go into sports. Where do we be spending money on the apparel, or where do we spend money going to the game? All of billions of dollars annually. Just same thing with religion. Billions of dollars go into wasted, okay, into giving money to churches. Billions of dollars that don't benefit the giver of this money. Okay, this apparel, memorabilia, whatever you want to call it, that stuff doesn't do anything for you at all, unless it's some type of relic that you can sell later for as it grows in value. Other than that, it doesn't do us any good. Team spirit, religion, you got the Holy Spirit. So, I mean, if you just look at all of the similarities in regards to religious belief and the belief in your team and the loyalty and the faith that you have in some of these teams, they're closely synonymous.
I'll tell you what,
Go ahead,
Ricky.
Kevin.
All right, so like you said, you got team spirit and you have the Holy Spirit, right? During Christmas time, you got the Christmas spirit. We look at church now and we look at how the similarities are right there with a pep rally. Like all they're going to do is just jump, shout, and scream that they're going to have victory. But victory over what? Because if your team goes out and wins that game, what does it really change about your immediate life? Literally nothing. But you're going to find a way to apply it to your life and be happy because this team that has never done anything for you won a game. A game now. Now, this is while we still getting shot by police, pulled over for any reason, right? We're still getting manipulated. Our families are still giving their money away to churches, but we good as long as our team wins, And the same way with church, your life can be in shambles, but as long as you can get in there and get that little pep rally, you're going to get excited. And they do whatever they can. They beat on the bleachers. They give you the music and everything, just like they do in church. It's really crazy when you look at the similarities, man. I grew up as a Cowboy fan only because my daddy was a Cowboys fan. So I by default adopted what the team my daddy liked. How ironic is that? And most children do the same thing. The household tends to be fans of the same team. It's kind of like the household tends to be fans of the same religion or the same God. You see what I'm saying? And there's really no real reason behind you being a fan of that team other than somebody you really liked or cared about is also a fan of that team. And you're going to promote and boost that team as if it's your own personal team. I see Cowboy fans that'll fight you if you say something bad about the Cowboys. I've seen Steeler fans that's even worse. You know what I'm saying? So I lived in Wilmington, South Carolina for a while. I ran this company out there. And they had a bowling alley that they always had Steeler fans come to it. And, man, if you wasn't a Steeler fan, you wasn't getting in there. I mean, they all had their jerseys on, all this kind of stuff. But it was like the livest spot to be to go watch a game. But if you walked in there with any other jersey on, man, you honestly might get punched in the face. Like, these dudes was not playing. You had to be a fan. And it's just so crazy that you can build that type of energy up towards another person, whether it be you like him because he likes the same team, or whether it be you got a problem with them because they don't like your specific team. I get that sports are fun and stuff like that, but man, we subject our children and stuff to these things as if they must do it in order to change our family around, when there literally are millions of things we could be teaching our children so they can have a better future, not just by making a team somewhere, But again, we wear their colors. We support their teams. We do everything that we can to show these teams that we love them. And when we have a need, we don't even expect those teams to do anything for us. Just like most of us don't even expect our churches to do anything for us, even though we've contributed to them. Even if it's say I don't depend on the church, I depend on God. Well, you give all your tithe to these churches, but let's be honest. When you prayed for a financial breakthrough to your God, how many times did it really come? Now think about how many times you tithed. We can say we've probably answered God's prayers way more times than He's answered ours, if we can be honest, right?
Yeah, of course. So, can you still hear, Kev?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, of course. It's just like I've always said. Like, the church don't wait on God. They just wait on the amount of time it takes for you to pull out your wallet or to pull out your purse and put that money in that plate. That's all the waiting on God that they do. So they never wait. They never wait on God. So I mean, if I went to church today and they asked me for anything, I'd be like, well, let's pray on it for a couple of weeks and see if God really wants us to have it or not. Because I don't know. We just ain't gonna be taking up no money. Let's pray on it first. Let's see what God got to
Absolutely.
do. But they don't do that. They tell you to do that, don't. But they don't do it.
Oh yeah,
whatever they gonna get, they gonna get it.
That's so true, Ricky. Man, that's true, bro. Yeah. Listen, man, your pastor will come to you and tell you, God put this number on my head, 54. Everybody that can get $54, and I guarantee you, if you raise your hand and say, I need to pray about that, he gonna treat you like you disobeying God. But if you go to him and say, listen, man, my refrigerator went out. I need this $200-$300 to buy me this little refrigerator or to fix my refrigerator. Can you do it? Well, we're gonna pray about it. and see what the Lord tells us to do. Then they come back and say, God said no. Like, you mean to tell me God said no? Like, what? You know how much money I done gave this dude? He talking about no? Come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is, man. You talked about like we subject our children to to this abuse. And I was gonna touch on that a little bit later, but I might as well just touch on it right now, kind of jump ahead a little bit. I was gonna talk about like same way with religion. Like we give our children, we trust these coaches just like we trust some of the people in the church, and we give our children over to these coaches and to these people so that their minds can be molded and their minds can be shaped, and then they end up getting abused. Like we give them over to the Sandusky's because we have short memories, and when it comes to having the potential to make millions of dollars, to make all of this money, you would subject your children to things that they don't want to do. Some of these kids don't even want to play sports, and they don't even want to play football, but they're forced to do so by their parents. And then sometimes their parents are the ones who are abusing them, like making them run sprints and till they drop, and making them do all of these exercises and all of this training and all. You see what I'm saying? So against their will, just for the potential for them, or the probability that they're gonna make it to the NFL. Then so you putting all of this responsibility on this young person's shoulder. And this young, so the pain don't matter. You teach them, push through the pain, and then you give them over to a coach who abuses them emotionally, who abuses them in a lot of cases physically.
Physically.
Hitting the kids, cursing at the kids, sometimes in front of the parents. And because this is the best team in the city or whatever, you don't even say nothing about it. Your kid getting abused right there in front of you, and you ain't got nothing to say about it because you want him to be on this team so bad.
And parents, I've seen parents tell their kids.
You.
Yeah, I've seen parents tell their children, man, your coach gonna cuss at you. You need and knowing they wouldn't let somebody else run up to their children and cuss them out, but they okay with the coach doing that. And if you go home and tell your parents, man, the coach be really cussing me out, calling me names and everything, what you doing? Are you not giving it all? Like, are you really serious right now? That's cool with you that he cussing me out. Like, okay, cool, whatever, man. But you absolutely 100% right, man. We put our kids through it because we say, hey, you know what? By the age of 20 something years old, 19, 20 years old, they could have $1 million payday. And the thing about it is, you have to understand why that's so. Why is it that sports can pay so much, but the other jobs and stuff that are really needed or more needed don't? The catalyst is the money, right? If a parent thinks that their child can make this much money by a certain age, they're thinking, why not push my child to do something if they can achieve something that early? But you don't even understand the percentage of the children that make it to these leagues. You see what I'm saying? And the health problems that go along with it for the people who don't. I know people who were really good, and even to this day they barely can walk, man. When it rained, their legs hurt, and they never got a check for playing football in their life. You understand that all the work they did, played college ball and everything, and never got a check for anything. So it's not like it's going to 100% yield a big payday. And you got to think like this. The same way we push our children into the military and be like, well, listen, they're going to pay for your school. You have to understand that the only reason they pay for your school is just because, you got to understand, the catalyst for people joining the military in high volumes like they do is because college is so expensive. Right. And so you got to think, why is college so expensive? So you can join the military. Man, nobody's going to be willing to join the military for a country they know is corrupt, to be willing to die for the decisions that they make, unless they're going to pay for your school. And in your mind, you think, what's the odds of me actually having to go to war? Nobody says, I want to go fight and die for this country. People don't talk like that. You see, so it's like you got to think it's all a gimmick.
Man, I didn't even want to go into the politics, man, but you went right on in, Kev. I'll just go keep it on the sports. But I mean,
my bad. I was just making an example, brother.
No, that's great. Cause man, I've been itching to talk about that, but I listen. Like that's how they try to get you, man. With the military, like no disrespect to anyone in the military. We all got family members that have served, but it is a job. I mean, you do get paid. Like people, like Kev say, when people talk about like respecting the troops, respecting the military, I always tell people like this. I said, in no time in history have warships ever pulled up to the shores of America. Like when people talk about defending freedom and defending the United States and fighting for freedom, I was like, when the last time warships pulled up to the shores of the U.S. and 10, 20,000 soldiers just jumped off and tried to occupy the United States, and then whoever was in the military just defeated that opposition? That's never happened. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like when you talk about defending freedom and defending America, like that's something totally different. Just like Kev just said, you are following orders from someone who doesn't have to be in the line of fire. He's calling shots from his little desk at his little military base and telling you to go get shot at, telling you to put your life on the line. So I'm not fighting for anyone. Not telling you to do it, but I can't fight for anyone who's not gonna be right there beside me while bullets is wheezing by my head. They gonna be wheezing by both our head. I'm like, we both gonna be there together.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can say go to war, I need you to be there to fight the war with me. A lot of this war and stuff, man, will be stopped if the people who made the decisions to go to war had to fight in that war.
Trust me, and they're not going
their life will be on the line.
And if for those of you that don't know, war makes a lot of money for both sides. So war is something that to a person who doesn't have to risk, that doesn't have any risks of death or anything like that, war is a good thing to a person who stands to make a lot of money. You understand? So, and then you look at these, like he said, nobody's pulled up in America and tried to take America, and then we fought them off or whatever. We go to other countries and take what they have. And a lot of these soldiers come back suffering from PTSD from things that they've had to do that they don't even want to talk about because they know deep down it's wrong and they just had to follow orders. I mean, the name of it is a soldier. You're sold. You got dog tags. They're letting you know you ain't worth a dime. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got dog tags on your neck, man. Like, a dog tag. Why they even call it that? You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you got to think, do these people really care about you, or are you just a commodity, something to be expendable?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that you right on point, man. We on the same, man. We definitely on the same frequency with that, man. And I'm just like, with the whole thing about protecting the country and everything, man. Like if you just look at it like this, and I didn't mean for it to go this way, but man, you said a mouthful, man. It's all about money. Most of the men who make the decisions, these are supposed to be some of the most intelligent people on the planet. Like, you mean to tell me intelligent men can't sit down and work out their differences? I know sometimes you think it has to go there, but a lot of the times, man, like a lot of these situations that's dealing with war and things of that nature, they can be worked out, man. It's just people are unwilling to do so. But like, because their life ain't on the line though, they ain't got to work it out, because you gonna work it out.
True.
And then a lot of the veterans, they come back and they can't even get the help that they need. What kind of system is that?
Right. And you really have to question the mindset of a person who always thinks about attacking you. Like, man, I remember years ago, man, I was at work and this guy said something about if I said something to him again, that he was going to hit me in my face. And I looked at him and I said, dude, you really don't want to try that, because I guarantee you it's not going to end up the way you think it is. But let's just say you hit me and it's a big pile of Kevin in the floor. I said, what would you have accomplished? And he just got quiet. I said, what would you have accomplished if you did hit me and knock me out? Let's just say you do. What would it change? It ain't going to change how I feel about you. It ain't going to change nothing that I said to you. And he thought about it and was like, dang, I've been making threats like that my whole life. Yeah, and it's stupid, bro. And you're an adult, and the first thing you're thinking about is hitting somebody, putting your hands on somebody because they don't agree with you. Man, you can't control the world. And if you think you can do it by violence, that's how you're going to end up getting hurt real quick. Because trust me, everybody, this ain't the neighborhood you grew up on. You can't walk around thinking you're going to hit somebody and it's going to be okay. It's the real world now.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
There you go. And to just touch on that, Kev, like with football and a lot of these sports, man, they teach these young men to be aggressive, but then they want them to be docile in their own life. And it just kind of point out, like, a lot with the injuries. Like, they wonder why a lot of these players get addicted to painkillers, marijuana. Like we look at the college game and we see a lot of players getting tested positive for marijuana. They testing for marijuana, man, because they in pain. Like, a lot of us look at like why would you be so stupid to smoke marijuana? Like, why we be looking at some of these players like they stupid. Like, we be like, dude, you making millions of dollars, man, in NFL. Why are you smoking marijuana? Why you can't quit smoking marijuana? They might be smoking marijuana, man, because they suffered an injury and it's just like agonizing. And that's the only way that they can get some type of pain relief is by smoking marijuana. I'm not excusing it, but you can't.
No, I mean right. I mean, the sheer fact that you're saying that, bro, is like, look at the government has found a really unique way of making their laws seem like they're morally based. Because let's think about it. They don't test for alcohol, and alcohol literally has killed millions of people. Marijuana hasn't killed a single person. So when you look at these people who say they're smoking marijuana because it does aid in their pain, well, it's a plant. And so if the government says you can't smoke marijuana, and then now they find marijuana in your system, now all of a sudden you're a morally bad person, you criminal even. Kind of like the play we were talking earlier, Rick, and I was telling you about the player they said was better than LeBron James or as good as LeBron James. And the reason he didn't go pro or go to a good college is because right before he went to college, he got pulled over for driving without license. And so now that he's driving without papers, he's now some kind of immoral criminal when he just was driving. Like, it's like the fact that there's a law that says you got to have papers to drive a car, just to travel across this planet, is crazy to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they should just lift it up and let everybody who drunk drive get out here on the streets and drive reckless. But I'm talking about when your license is suspended due to paid parking tickets, not having the right sticker on your car. That stuff is just stupid. That shouldn't even be. You shouldn't even have to get a new sticker on your car every year and pay taxes on your car. That's extortion. Now, you telling somebody they shouldn't drunk drive, speed, drive reckless, then yeah, if your license is suspended, you need to be off the road because that's due to you endangering other people's lives. But man, a sticker? Man, you got to be kidding me. Like, this stuff is made up laws. And if your stick ain't right, and if I got pulled over today and they said Kevin got pulled over, his tag wasn't right on his car, people going to say he a criminal. And it's like, what? I ain't hurting nobody. Like, what you mean I'm a criminal? And so that's the same thing that they do with marijuana. They've created it out. They've made it in our minds to be a drug when literally it's a plant. And you can go buy their pharmaceutical stuff over the counter all day. And it has many side effects to it. But that's going to pass through. You good on that. Yeah. They don't test for cigarettes, none of that. But marijuana, that's a problem. But why is that a problem? Because, well, we couldn't monetize it. We know it back in the day. Well, now we can. So it's still a problem, though, right? Why? We already know the plant itself isn't a problem. So why do you still have laws surrounding it? You see what I'm saying? And I hate to go off on a tangent on that alone. But again, we're taking something like marijuana that's not bad, but because it's illegal, we look at it as it's immoral. And you criminal to disobey something that somebody signed on a piece of paper, when really nobody should have that much power anyway to tell you can't use a plant. That's like somebody saying you can't eat green beans. Yeah. You know, for what? What reason? They don't kill nobody. But if they write that in a law and say you can't eat green beans, 20 years from now, green beans will be frowned upon. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. That's exactly right, man. And again, like I just want to kind of highlight your point there, man, about the immorality, like making things immoral. First of all, these players, they're young men, like they're grown. But when you look at psychology, man, and you study the prefrontal cortex of the brain, that don't fully develop till around the age of like 25, 24, 25, 26. So when some of these players make some of the mistakes that they're making, it's just because they don't have the brain capacity to be able to make a good judgment. You know, a lot of the players go broke after a couple of years of entering the league because they don't have the mind to deal with all of these things that's just coming at them like right away. You know, especially a lot of the poor players coming out of the impoverished conditions and coming out of the ghetto. They don't know. So they don't have the money management skills. They don't have the financial literacy to be able to handle these large amounts of money. They don't even understand how much $1 million is. They think that money is gonna last forever, and it's not.
Right.
You know, so everybody got their hand in their pocket and they just like, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. And 6 months later, they look at their account, they're like, man, I spent that much. You know,
absolutely.
And it's like they're broke. So, and then these coaches, like the coach is supposed to be the leader. I'm gonna make the comparison between the coach and the preacher. Okay, the preacher is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be the most moral, upstanding person in the church, according to his congregation. And you find out most time that's not. The coach is supposed to be moral, but now you find out these coaches doing everything under the sun. Okay, absolutely. So they won't let none of these college players get money. but the coaches are millionaires. Okay, so just because he comes sit in your living room and have dinner with your mom, you think he care about you? That coach don't care about you. Just because he invites you to his house to have a barbecue and swim in the pool with his kids, you think he care about you? The coach don't care about you. He care about your ability to be on his team and help his team win. Okay,
Absolutely.
that's it. So it's like, what's in it for me? That's it. You are beneficial to me. So of course I'm gonna bring you in and make you feel like family. But them coaches
Right.
don't care about you, man.
And say,
Like,
I'm paying for
just
your
like the preacher
scholarship.
don't care.
Right. And they call it a scholarship as if, and they say paying for your scholarship as if, that that scholarship is really as expensive as they saying it is. You know what I mean? Call it a free ride or whatnot. At the end of the day, these students are the ones who's making these colleges this money, a lot of money. Man, one
Crazy
of my best
money.
friends, man, he played for Western Carolina. And man, I would go to watch this dude play. And I tell you, Ricky, man, they charge you about $20 to get in. And if a woman had a purse, they make them open that purse to make sure they wouldn't sneak snacks and stuff in there, because the snacks in there was so expensive. Like, they're not about to let you get nothing over on them. You feel me? And like, the only reason you paying to get there, come in there, is because of these players, and the place is rammed. I mean, I would sit there and look around and just take a guesstimate at how much money they was making that day. I mean, the coaches make millions of dollars, and the athletes don't get a dime. But if the athlete takes money from someone, takes a loan from someone, because a person may know or feel very strongly that they may make it to the NFL, so they loan them some money. If they accept that money, they don't get to go to the league. They lose their awards, all kind of crazy stuff, man. It's almost like they never played football. Yeah. They take it all from them, and it's like, you can't expect a kid who is living in the ghetto, never had anything, they parents struggling, and they sitting here, and somebody offer them some money. They're supposed to say no because I might go to the NFL one day. That's going to be really hard to do. And if you look at it, man, this is definitely, there's some exceptions to the rule. There are some very intelligent ball players out here.
Right.
But let's be honest, it's also some out here that can't even talk straight. I'm talking about, you can't even do an interview with them. They can't even talk straight. And you got to wonder how they make it through college, because obviously they don't care. They cared about one thing: your body. Keep your body strong and your mind weak. Just like Denzel Washington said in The Great Debaters, they want to keep your body stronger and your mind weak. And this is why you got so many athletes. If you want to go and just test strictly the mental capacity of people in any type of job line, I guarantee you athletics would be the lowest, if IQ was a real thing, the lowest, period, bar none, because the requirement for them to be intelligent, it just isn't there. And so whenever you get money, you get these big $1 million checks, what you gonna do with this money? Except for put it right back in to the communities that ain't helping yourself or anybody that look like you.
There you go.
You're gonna go buying foreign cars and buy clothes and shirts that cost more than some people's houses. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Have more money on your ring finger, on your pinky finger, than some people's houses, and you're really not doing anything to help any. And the thing about it, the people who do ask you for help, you're trained to look at them like, oh, all these cousins coming out of the woodworks. Yeah. And so you're trying to look at them like an enemy because they got their hand out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you run and you buy all this other stuff that you know you don't need. Right. You see what I'm, and it's honestly, they don't do it on purpose. We all, as children, man, many of us got caught up into this. I went through my whole life poor. So when I finally got a job my senior year of high school, man, I was chilling like a villain every day. I was always fresh. I never really wore Jordans just because I guess I just never was a fan of Jordan shoes or tennis shoes, period. I always wore like boots and stuff like that. But I definitely was buying a lot of clothes. But it was because, I want to feel good about myself. So I know that's probably the reason they do it too. Yeah. They're not saying, let's go out here and let's just keep on doing bad and let's keep on making them richer and us poor. Nobody does that. But if they can keep you ignorant and thinking that's the way you do things, then that's what they're going to do. Right. And we look at these children and stuff like that who grow up and go into the league and get these big checks as if, they just jerks or whatever. But they honestly have no real understanding of what they're doing, man. I got a couple friends who played pro ball, and they'll tell you all the time, man, they marvel at how much attention they get just because they can jump or throw a football or run a 4.3. It's just like, it's people in the world that can really change the world. And all these people snapping pictures of me because I got a 40-inch vertical. I mean, you see what I'm saying? And it's
unreal,
the things that we put at the top.
Absolutely. World. Backwards. Mm-hmm. It's backwards, man. It's definitely backwards, man. Kevin, like you, man, you are like on, man. We are like thinking the same. Like I promise you, man. Like you would just, I would just think you just typed all my notes in because you just done touched on everything in my notes. But
Sorry about
no,
that.
no, 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 no. It's cool, man. I'm glad, man. You can be on, man, like and express and articulate these points, man. But yeah, I mean the players with the money, and this is the thing because we're caught up in capitalism, and that's where people think your success lies, and people gonna look up to you when you come through, like they gonna pay you all of this respect. But this is the thing, like that is we shouldn't be capitalists, not at all. Okay, so you come from a poor community. Like a lot of these, like you were saying, like you go buy a foreign car, man. There's some of these neighborhoods, man. You can buy the whole block for the same amount that you buy one of these cars for, and then have some change. And these ain't just old, dilapidated houses. These are decent houses where you can move people into these homes, man, and help these people become homeowners. Like you just buy the whole block for 500,000, having people pay the property tax. Just break up the property tax by 12. Say, look, I can't let you stay here for free, but just pay the property tax. Maybe charge them a little bit more, and then eventually say, look, if your credit is not there, I'm going to help you, be able to purchase this home, or this can be your home. Like if you're trying to make a difference, man, that's making a difference. I can't respect you, whether you're an athlete, entertainer, celebrity, motivational speaker, preacher, whoever. I can't respect you if you live in a mansion and you talking about helping people, unless you got 30 people living with you. I can't
Right.
respect you when you live in a $20 million house. People like, well, Rick, he made the money. He can spend however you want to spend. I'm sorry. You ain't trying. I can't hear you. I can't hear anything you got to say. If you live in a $10 million mansion and you living there with your two kids and your wife and your nanny, I just can't respect anything that you got to say because you can't talk to me at that point.
And see, like for me, man, like you got a lot of these celebrities who honestly can't go out. Like, they can't do public things. So they had these big houses with like, bowling alleys and theaters and stuff in them because they can't go out and do regular stuff without getting hounded. And so they don't have any personal space for their children. Things like that,
right.
I do get. But like at the same time, like you said, if you have all these different things and you're not doing, like my thing is like Akon, let's say for instance, Akon is out here giving so many people lights. I think over like 3 or 4 million people now, he's giving them electricity, right? I wouldn't care if he stayed in the mansion because this man clearly looks out for the cookout.
Mm-hmm.
I can respect that.
Okay.
But again, like you saying, if a person has all these things and they're not doing anything to help the community, that is a problem because you're saying that you for the community, but clearly you're not. Right. That's what we're looking at, and especially if you're doing it from people. If you're a preacher and you're doing this off of donations, that is a real problem because you bought yourself these things off of their donations. Again, now if somebody's an athlete and they make a lot of money, they can't go out in real life and do stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm learning just by knowing some of these people now.
Okay.
I get it. Right, I get it. So I'd be like, these people like say LeBron James, he building colleges and stuff like that. Okay, I could say that he's trying the best way he knows. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know that a schooling that's going to be based on how the government wants you to run a school, that ain't good for us, period. Because we already know we still not about to learn anything that's going to be real sufficient. So you can put as many kids through college as you want. If they're not learning nothing, what's the point? We've learned that going through college don't mean nothing. And it's really sad because we all grew up thinking that college was the way to go. And then now that we're adults, we realize like it's people who went to college, they in bigger debt than a lot of us that didn't go to college and probably will stay like that for a long time.
Yeah.
And they still can't get a job. You see what I'm saying? And it's really sad when you look at that.
Or making less money than you make. I'm telling you, I know people with degrees, man. I make more money than them, Kevin. I mean, I got an associate's degree, but like I've had people with master's degrees get jobs. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you that degree, man, it don't mean nothing. But like, man,
especially if you're a woman, they'll pay you less just because you got a vagina. Like that's an actual fact. You will make less money solely because you got a yoni, and that's a real fact. Like that's really sad. A man and a female can go to the same school, get the same grades, and he will make more than her solely because he have a penis, man. So when you look at how this world is really set up, it really makes you frown on all of that stuff. Because it's like, if it's not going to really benefit me to go through your school for all these years and pay y'all all this money, only to get out and be treated like that, to be still looked at by my skin color or my gender, when clearly you see a degree, that's a problem for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I tell my children, man, go get it, man. I challenge them to find what they love, what they're good at early in life. Because, man, you may not need college. The person who created college never went to college, man. You know what I mean? And most of your millionaires never went to that place.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying? But we've been taught by the government that, you know, the army is a good place to go and college is a good place to go. Yeah. You know, that's what we've been taught. So when someone talks like we're talking, all of a sudden we rebels. We the bad guys. We frowning on education. Mm-hmm. But don't think college is education. That's where y'all got twisted up, is you actually think college is education. Man, I know people with daggum doctorate degrees and couldn't take care of themselves right now if all the grocery stores shut down. They don't know how to plant their own food. They don't know how to eat. Like, we just now finding out that we don't need meat to survive. Man, it's doctors don't know that. You understand? I'm telling you, it's doctors that do not know this because they're going off a medical program that they were taught.
Yeah.
So we walk around knowing more of these people who literally put knives on your stomach. My doctor tried to convince me I needed a meat feeding tube to heal during my surgery. He said if I don't get the right enough protein, all of the incisions and cuts that he made on the inside of my intestines, all of it could just fall apart. And anybody who does a vegan feeding tube, they're in hospice. And I said, man, you can kill that.
Yeah.
I'm taking the vegan feeding. Man, come on, bro. And I'm fine. It's like this man, and he was literally mad at me. You should have saw this man's face. Yeah. Mad because I didn't want to eat meat. And when I told him that meat had carcinogens, he was like, true, but still, you need protein. No, I don't. Who you know you talking to?
Yeah.
I just said, dude, I said, Google me. Like, man, bro, trust me, man. You're not about to sit here and tell me I need this.
There's no protein in beans?
All them stitches going to fall apart if I don't put meat in my body. Man, who you talking to? I don't know who that worked on.
Yeah, he told my sister the same thing, man. My sister just got diagnosed with diabetes, bro. And she was like, yeah, the doctor said I had to eat meat. And I was like, okay. I was like,
right, he's trying to take you out fast and make you buy his medicine.
Man.
So you know you're going to his dialysis because my grandma went through the same stuff.
Yeah, you talking about like the sports, like check this out, Kev. Or your family. I know this ain't a conversation between me and Kev, but I listen, they tear down stadiums, right? I'm like, you just tore down a $500 million stadium to build a $1 billion stadium. And we got all these issues in this country. So that's the thing that upsets me the most about America. Like, I'm not anti-American, but I'm just like this. America has money to do everything it wants to do, okay? It could clean up all of the slums and all of the ghettos tomorrow if it chose to. You got money to go to the moon. You got money to go to Mars. You got money for everything else. You got money to research and develop new weapons to kill people, but you don't have money to save your people because I don't care if they're gangbangers or drug dealers. You produce them. Okay, right. So your country is only as good as how all of its citizens live, not just a few. So that's my whole thing. Especially if America didn't have the resources to fix its problems, I wouldn't have anything to say. But I know they have the resources to fix their problems. Let me just give you an example. I'm in Arizona. They built a Cardinals football stadium, probably about 10 years ago, give or take. This is what they did. In order to pay for the stadium, they was taking the money from the tourism tax to pay for the stadium. And that was illegal because the tourism tax is supposed to go to the building of the freeways and the road, the maintenance and things like that for the freeways. So the tax that you pay when you stay in hotels and when you rent a rental vehicle, they was ciphering off that money to pay for that stadium, and somebody caught it. And it was illegal. See, so they doing illegal things all the time. And then they want to point at you for being a criminal. They want to point at you for dealing drugs and being a gangbanger when everybody's corrupt.
Like, that's exactly what they do. Like, honestly, when you go to a CVS and you go and you get your prescription filled, what do you think just happened? They just have a license to deal you drugs. You see what I mean? And they're actually giving you something that's man-made. something that's been manipulated.
There you go.
But they're telling you if you get something natural, man, like psilocybin right now, they're trying to outlaw that. Salvia, DMT, not cigarettes, but of course marijuana, hemp. Hemp don't even get you high. You understand? But just because of the quality that's associated with it, all these things are looked at as illegal. When you can go buy Tylenol over the counter, and that stuff is known to give people side effects and kill people. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really wild, man. And when you look at it from that aspect, like you said about they'll build these $1 billion stadiums and won't help the communities, when it's a known fact that high crime rates are associated with poverty and how they live. So if you were to clean up some of these poor neighborhoods, you wouldn't have as much crime. You wouldn't have people out here stealing people's shoes if they had money to buy their own. You see what I'm saying? And so if you fix the community, it would change the outlook of the people that live in the community. You see, if you bring jobs to the communities or teach people how to create their own, because I grew up watching older people, my aunts and uncles, they all worked at plants. You feel me? And all they talked about was getting a good job. I make $9 an hour, $10 an hour. They didn't get no vacations. And they was out there either at a cotton mill or dolphin some steel or working with something that they can lose their fingers on and barely even making money, man. And they never, man, I'm talking about these were my predecessors. They ain't never tell me how to be an entrepreneur because they didn't know how.
Right.
All they knew how to do was go get a job. You better go fill that application out and make a good interview. And people will come out there and call themselves doing Job Corps stuff. And all they're doing is teaching you how to interview. Yeah. They're teaching you how to interview to get a job. Like, why should I hire you? Don't say because I need a job. Yeah, you're doing a lot of help. Thank you, lady. Like, you feel me? Like, teach people how to own their own, how to create their own, how to be self-sufficient. But that's all we care about. They'll bring in a daggum temporary agency before they bring in anybody that's going to help you get your own. Yeah. And that's what they teach you in school. Like, they talk about, they give you your breaks. They give you your breaks and all these things every couple of hours, just like they do in jail, just like they do at your job, to move you faster into that. So you already used to, your attention span already short because you're going to only handle about an hour or two because you're waiting for a break anyway. So all that stuff is going to be conducive to you moving either to prison or moving to own the college or either getting a job. It's all going to be the same. So you conform to it. But we know entrepreneurship ain't like that. Entrepreneurship, you got to grind, man. And every day you don't get paid. Yeah. Every week you don't even get paid. You see what I'm saying? Until you get this thing started. But the problem is, man, we don't have the same intensity or the same work ethic for ourselves because we just was never taught to do that. If you have a job, you'll wake up and go clock in because if you don't, you'll be terminated. If you late too many times, you'll be terminated. But if you work for yourself, there's nobody to make you get up. And so you won't give that same effort. But we got to be willing to give that same effort to ourselves that we was willing to give them, because all we was doing was making their dreams come true for a couple dollars. And we know they're not paying us enough to live off of.
They're not.
We were like, man, you got most of us, man, you count our checks down and after we pay our bills, man, we ain't even got $500 to get through a whole month on.
Yeah. And that's the whole difference, man. And kind of just to go back a little bit about the whole college thing, man. Like right now I'm in real estate class and there's no, it's just 2 classes. That's all you got to take, 2 classes. And then there's a contract writing class. So one little semester, pay a little under $600. You can have your own real estate license. Be right there, boom, just be an entrepreneur right there. No 4 years, 6 years in college. You making thousands of dollars off of a deal, and I'm not trying to make it seem like it's that easy. Of course, like you say, it is a grind. But like let's say you do that when you 18, and you live in your mama's house, and you start developing your real estate business. And man, by the time you 22, 23, 24, man, you've been had the game locked down and sold up and everything. And I see a lot of young people in that class, and hardly any of them don't look like me. You understand? So these other groups are giving their people the knowledge and giving their people the game and starting them out early. But like we lacking, man. We lacking, and we definitely, like I say, that's no student loan debt. But like you say, working a job, that we feel like that's all that we can do, and we scared to let some of these jobs go. Like I used to work at Tyson Foods, like when I was like 18, 17, 18. Man, them people they was getting they was getting cheated out of their lunch break. Like they was having them people go to lunch minutes late, like 7 minutes late. They was getting like a 20-minute lunch. They're supposed to get 30. And I was like, dude, they cheating y'all out of y'all lunch break. I was like, man, listen, I'm getting my 30 minutes. And I got one time my manager came to me, he's like, Rick, you late. And I'm like, look, man, I left out of here at 12:05. I came back at 12:35. I was like, now play with me and I'll go to the Department of Labor and tell you cheat me out of my lunch break. We have no more conversation about it. But I try to get everybody else to get their 30-minute lunch. And they was like, boy, we ain't boycotting that. You better get out of here, boy. We studying that stuff you talking about. I'm like, they take you out of your lunch break. You get 30 minutes, not 22 minutes. You know,
Right.
so but they like, no, boy, but that job only paid you like $6 an hour, man. You be standing up all day killing yourself. You know, so I just didn't understand. Like, we so afraid to let these little jobs that ain't worth nothing go. Like, we hang on to these things like it's for dear life.
I did it myself, man. I worked at a place. It was called United Southern. They paid like $7 an hour. You only worked 6 hours, but you didn't get no breaks. I had just had a baby, man. I was like, I gotta, and man, I would go in there and work from 6 to 12. No, my bad. My shift was from 12 at night to 6 in the morning, or whatever. And I go in there and work them 6 hours and wouldn't move. Hot plastic, man. You getting your fingers burnt cutting this hot stuff out. You doing this for $7 an hour. Knowing if somebody came up to you and said, I would pay you $7 to stand in front of this hot machine for an hour and cut this plastic off, you would say no. But you would do it for 6 hours, though. Because, see, you hadn't thought it through. You just counting it up. I'm going to tell you what hit me, man. I was making music and everything, rapping and stuff. And I was like, can I make more than $6 an hour selling my music, man? Man, I left that job and I would just go to different malls and sell my CDs, man. And I actually did good doing that, you know. A lot better than working at United Southern. But I'm gonna tell you, man, this is what's crazy. We were talking about how a lot of other people have this information and we don't. I had a friend, man, right after I got out of high school. I won't say his last name, but his name was Jerry. But either which way, man, he owned a construction company. And his father left it to him, and so Jerry was rich, man. And Jerry would build houses because he would get the parts and stuff cheap from his own construction company, have his guy build the house. So Jerry was borrowing $50,000 from the bank, building houses and selling them for $200,000 because he could buy his own products dirt cheap, right? Mm-hmm. And Jerry never offered me a job. Now, I'm talking about I personal trained him. We hung out every day. We were friends, right? He never offered me a job. Now, if I said, Jerry, could I borrow $500? I'll pay you back over the course of a month. He'd do it. If I asked him for $600, Jerry would do it. He would loan me money now. But the moment I went to him and said, man, I want to learn to do what you do. Can you help me? Man, Jerry backed off. He got distant, real distant, man. Now we were friends, and I'm not saying this to say anything, but Jerry would identify as white. Now he never acted like he was any different than I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And don't get me, I'm not saying this cause he white, because I know black people that I've asked for help and they backed off the same way. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But I don't understand this mentality, how I'll loan you money, but if you really need help, I won't do jack for you. That blows my mind. And you call yourself a friend. You see what I'm saying? And I was just like, he would loan me money, but he won't really show me how to not ever need money from him no more. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And so that's why I say you got to learn to get your own. Don't have your children out here in predicaments like that. Teach them how to get their own so they can be Jerry. They can have their own company instead of, having to ask somebody for opportunity all the time. That's what we get stuck doing. Always trying to make somebody hire us or do something when we can have our own. But we don't. It's like we don't want to work for that though. It's like we rather march for somebody else to treat us right than fix our own problems. That's it. I don't understand it.
It's scary, man. I know it's you know when you have a job and you get into a nice little job with benefits and got the little 401k and everything and you doing okay, you can pay your bills, you created some stability for yourself. Kev, it is kind of nerve wracking sometimes to be like, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. Sometimes, like I was saying last week, sometimes you get pushed into being an entrepreneur by just by circumstance sometimes. But like when you get that job, man, and you got everything going, you get comfortable. man, people don't want to really work for themselves, man. They like, man, I'd just rather work here and retire, work here for 20 years and retire, and let that be that, and that they're okay with that, you know.
Yeah. And again, we've taught to be okay with that. You know, that's the whole problem right there. Swag is Z asked if the donation goes to Kevin. Yes, it does. And also, I want to thank you, Nubian, for that donation. Thank you very much. I really needed that. That was something I wanted to mention, man, because I know we definitely own it, but we kind of getting from the topic.
Yeah.
You would send me an outline, and I just was reading over it, and there's something I'd really like to hear what you're going to say about it. So I'm gonna bring that back up to you. It was part D. You said the perpetual weekly and seasonal loop.
Okay.
So and you spoke a little bit about that on the phone with me earlier. I just want them to really hear about what you were talking about, how they give you a taste all throughout the week, the same way that church is on Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. Just going back into those similarities with religion and sports. Okay. So just like, football season is coming up, they got it to where you go to church on Sunday. You watch football on Sunday. Monday night, or if you go to, some of us who go to, well, not some of us, but when we was in religion, those of us who went to church, we may have had a Tuesday night or Wednesday night Bible class. So they give you a little Monday night game, then they give you a little Thursday night game, and then they give you another game on Sunday, just to help you make it through Sunday. And just like a couple months ago, Andre was on the show, and he was like, church is that 7-day loop. You go through 6 days of hell, and then you get a little bit of heaven on Sunday. So it's the same way. Like, if you look at the comparison, man, it's striking. A lot of these psychologists, they probably sat down and I wouldn't be surprised if they ain't sat down and studied this and be like, okay, this is going to work because we have the data from this right here. So this works with religion. This is going to work with people because they're so emotionally invested in these teams, and they love their team. When their team wins, we win. So it's the same perpetual loop, either seasonal or weekly, and it's the same thing. And then also, what I want to I'm glad Kevin kind of went back up to that point. You got to look at the hypocrisy, okay? And a lot of these coaches, and just a lot of these sports itself. So, okay, you're supposed to be like, a lot of these Christian, like, there shouldn't be any Christian football players, okay, or spectators, okay. So because your book says that's of the world. It says be in the world, but not of the world. It says a carnal mind cannot please God. You know what I mean? So what's spiritual about football? Okay, so if you're playing the game, okay, you're supposed to be in church, but you get excused because I guess you in the NFL, and I guess the preacher say, hey, it's beneficial that we let you play football so we can get 10% of that $1.5 million contract that you have. Okay, so it's all hypocrisy. And then another thing is, football is a very violent and brutal sport, okay? And you run across that middle and they knock you out. And then when you knocked out and unconscious, they come down and be like, oh, pray for him. I'm sorry. Like, ooh, I hope he all right. You knew you was like gonna kill him when you seen him coming across the middle. So they knock you out and knock you unconscious, and then they want to pray for you afterwards.
Sometimes the dude that hit you like that, he pray for you too.
Yeah. Then they get in the locker room, they're like, boy, the second quarter, boy, you knocked that boy's soul out. They it's celebrating here really, in the locker room.
God gave him the strength to knock him out like that.
So it's all hypocrisy. And the coaches teach you to play like
y'all
this.
Hear us now. If y'all hear me, I lost Ricky, I think.
I can still hear you. Yo, Josh, is the audio still good?
Let us know if y'all can hear us. Or...
It's his mic.
Oh,
okay, so they can still hear me.
Yeah, it's I think he can still be heard on the broadcast, but I don't think he can hear him on here for some reason. Hang on.
Okay. While Josh is getting that out, if you guys can hear me, I'm gonna read. I want to thank you, Swags, for the donation as well. See if someone said something I wanted to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. You trying to fix that, man?
See if I can find that again. Yeah, Pay Homage said, I don't want to do anything for 20 years. I mean, honestly, let's really think about this, man. Unless it's something for yourself. Why would you want to give anybody 20 years of your life? I think about like before they terminated me from my job, when you in sales, like during Christmas time or whatever, they work the crap. Anybody that's in sales, you know what I mean. Especially if you sell furniture, clothes, anything like that, the company gonna stay open to way later, open way earlier, and you're gonna have to work all day. Pretty much get home, get you about 5-6 hours of sleep, and be right back in there doing the same thing. And well, I was on commission. Now I love commission sales, but during Christmas time, they would hire a bunch of temporary employees who only made hourly. So you see them over there typing up $10,000 deals that would pay you, $4, $5, maybe $800, $900 sometimes just for one deal, and they just getting paid hourly for it. And you sitting over there just sick to your stomach because they taking forever to type it. They type it wrong, and you got to go help them. And really, you should I mean, honestly, they shouldn't be in their life. They shouldn't do that. But you deal with it. And I mean, I had just went through all of that with my company, man, and they terminated me for a video after I done put, man, I think about the hours and the commission. Your commission goes down because again, your sales get cut out because they bring in all these temporary employees, and so now you worked, your money goes down, but you put in literally 80, 90 more hours. Yeah. So you already feeling pissy already, and you feeling done wrong already. But hey, it's the beginning of the year. It's about to be tax time, and a lot of people buy furniture or clothing, whatever. If you're in commissions, cars, you get your hopes up, so you're able to make it through for a little while or whatever. But I mean, it's just the way they do you. And the companies know what they're doing. If I can pay somebody $10 an hour, I don't have to pay them that $900 for the 10, 20 minutes it took to sell that bedroom set. You see what I'm saying? So the company knows they're doing it. That should be illegal. You see what I'm saying? But you don't have a voice. That's their company. That's why I say we got to learn to create our own, because half the time we complaining about how they run the company anyway. Like Ricky said that he didn't want to, he don't want to sound like he's anti-America, but shoot, why not? Because we live in a country that some conqueror called America. We now have to think like the general public in this country, or the way they try to tell us to think. No, most of us complain about the way America runs their show as well. Yeah. So my whole thing is like being free is having the power to change your surroundings, not just your paradigm. We can learn to see different. But here's my thing. I got a friend. He was telling me about a guy that he met at work who never left their actual state they live in. They've never been out of their state or whatever. And they was laughing about it, never left the state. And I said, but think about it though. Does it really matter if I leave this state of mind, if I never change this state of mind? If I never change my state of mind? Now, y'all know I'm a lyricist, so that's going to be in my next song. Okay? You can travel all around the world, man, but if you don't change your state of mind, you'll forever see the world the way the world tells you to see it. And if you're doing that, you're a robot. So at the end of the day, if you really want to change it, it's beyond just learning what's wrong. It's about taking the initiative to do what you know is right and train your children to do what they know is right so you can change the situation. That's why I always say, be the evolution. Be the change you want to see. We got to stop just learning and start doing, because we need to create a better world for ourselves. And if we don't get down and dirty, we're just going to be complaining while we living in America, and we're going to be complaining while we going to work every day, making that man rich or that woman rich, whoever we work for. It's not us. We can't leave it to our children or whatever.
That's it, man. That's exactly.
Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I don't want to be like off on a tangent. Y'all don't hear nothing I'm saying.
Yeah, I can hear you loud.
I know Josh is working on getting Ricky back. Thank you very much, Sean.
Is my audio back, Josh?
Actions speak louder than words, indeed.
It's just something with Rick's Skype, so I'm gonna restart it, and we'll see how it works after that. It should be okay, but I'm gonna restart it real quick, so it's gonna disconnect us temporarily.
That's cool.
So
okay, but it'll be the same live.
Yeah, that won't change anything live. It's just right now, people can hear you guys both, but you guys can't hear each other. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, dang, I've been talking all over Ricky. I've been sorry.
No.
I've been listening,
Rick's
bro.
been patient. But yeah, I'm gonna restart this real quick.
All right.
Rick, can you hear us?
Oh
Or
yeah,
can you?
I can hear you, Josh.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, we just
Good.
had to restart our Skype for some reason. You can hear him, right, Kev? Please tell me you can hear him, Kevin.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm like, bro.
No, I hit mute.
No, you good. All right, so yeah, you guys are good now. Looks like.
Okay.
Right. Sorry about that, Ricky.
No, it's good, man. Like I was just listening to you, bro. So like I didn't have anything to say, man. I was just listening. So you good. King Harris has asked me a question. He said how I feel about us not sticking together on important topics like we stick together for our sports teams. Okay, that's a great question. And then also in the chat, I just wanted to just tell EAE that I did reach out to William Jones to see if he wanted to come on the show. So he said he was going to send me his contact information so I could clear it with Kev and Josh. I'm just waiting to hear back from him. So I just want to kind of address that. But to address King's question, and again, this all ties back into the whole just America issue. Like I try to be careful. Like I know how I think, and with certain views, Kev. Like I don't want to like express certain views on your pages if it's not like conducive, to your platform. So I just try to be careful. But my political views, are a little bit different. But I just this country, I know the history, and I'm not like I mean just the history of how everything took place. Like I'm well read on history, the civil rights struggle. I'm from Anniston, Alabama. The Freedom Riders came through my city and burnt a bus and tried to burn people alive in a bus. So I know people that was in the LCLC, all of that stuff. Like know them. You know what I mean? So um, I'm well up on that. And I know this history, and I don't agree with it at all. And I think a lot of it is hypocrisy. But as far as us standing together, again, like the Montgomery boys bus boycott, they rolled in cars together. They walked everywhere they went for over a year. Okay, they made this sacrifice. They didn't worry about their tires being worn down on their car, and you ain't take a shower this morning, so I gotta sit in your lap. Like they did what they were supposed to do. So the thing with us is a lot of us we're individuals. Okay, so we like I made it. I'm not like I ain't getting involved in that nonsense. Like what they see is nonsense. Like this whole situation with Kaepernick, and let's just talk about that for real quick. That situation with Kaepernick, not just the players, but if the NFL is a fraternity like they claim to be, and if the NFL is a brotherhood like they claim to be, everybody should have just walked away. Everybody should have just been, not just the black players. If the black players alone would have walked away, they would have shut the whole NFL down. The owners would have been crying to those players, please come back and play, please. So they don't understand their power. But if the NFL is a true brotherhood, and one of our brothers is affected by something, then everybody should have walked away. They should have sat down, talked about the issue. How can we fix it? How can we address it? And then the whole thing would have been over. As far as us coming together as people, it shouldn't just be black people, okay, or it shouldn't just be those who are being mistreated. Every person in America should be active in trying to change America, because when you just sat back and say, well, it's not affecting me, that's their fight, that's their plight, I don't want to get involved in it, then you're okay with the problem. You are a part of the problem. So it shouldn't just be us marching and protesting, it should be everyone. Okay, so because it's not, that's where the hypocrisy lies, and that's the issues that we have. So it's not just us standing, man. It's just us standing. Period. And I know people are like, man, Rick, that's irrational to think that another group is going to stand with you. But if we are truly American, just like when the whole 9/11 thing happened, like we was unified for like 3 days. For that weekend, after that weekend was over, we went right back to treating each other like we treat each other. But if we can be unified like we were unified after that 9/11 situation, that was in my it was temporary, but it was a sense of how this country should be unified. But again, it's just yeah, we just need to know and understand that sacrifice, man, it's not pretty. It's not like being famous. It's not you gonna lose. And a lot of us are not willing to lose this little notoriety or whatever, this little fame that we have, or this little money that we have, because we got to have our little trinkets. So that's why we can't really truly stand with each other. Because when you talk about freedom, sometimes it's gonna cost you your life. True freedom. So and then again, to kind of, I'm glad you kind of brought this out, because I want to go a little bit about what real leadership is. Okay, real leadership, your real leaders, man, they are not going to be someone that's all about money. Malcolm died pretty much broke. Martin Luther King was he didn't have a lot of money. Both of these men gave their lives. Martin Luther King lived in the slums with the people that he was fighting housing discrimination with, housing segregation. He lived among the people. When he won the Nobel Peace Prize, he gave all of that money away. He didn't keep any of it, because he said that prize is not mine. The people was instrumental in me winning this award. So it's like it can't be a me thing. So when you see somebody rolling in a luxury car, when you see somebody living in this luxurious house, and I know Kevin made the point, sometimes they can't be seen in public, and that's something that we need to look at. We need to stop living vicariously through these entertainers and celebrities to where they can't even go outside. They just people just like us.
True.
So if we just look at each other like you are a person, just because you have money and fame and you're on television, don't mean if I see you out somewhere, I gotta run up to you and be like, please can I have you? We gotta be crazy.
Most of them don't even like it. They'd rather just be invisible sometimes. You know what I mean? You're right. Just because you see somebody on TV or in a movie or something like that, you don't have to treat them like they're any more valuable than the next man that you see at the supermarket or that you work beside. They got a job just like you, or it's the same thing. They got paid for what they did just like you. I really wish that we wouldn't be so starstruck, like you said. Um, these entertainers honestly don't even like it, and so and us as human beings shouldn't be throwing ourselves at anybody because they was on. I just have never been that type, and
Yeah.
so forgive me. I don't want to sound judgmental, but I've never understood people who got so excited about people that they saw on TV. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's just one. Again, I think we were taught to do that too. We watch Nickelodeon growing up and BET, and we always see fans run after these people. And so it's like we being programmed every second of the day, man. They tell us they're more important. Just by the way they tell us how to treat celebrities, just the same ways we see them act on TV.
But you
All we
know
do
what
is
it is,
repeat what we
Kev,
see.
though? Because I'm always thinking, I think about the other person, man. I see celebrities all the time, basketball players all the time. I don't say nothing. Like, because I'm like, they get that all day. I'm not going to go up and ask them for no autograph or nothing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I live, but listen, there's two people. I'll be like, yo, bro, I gotta talk to you. Tupac, because there's some lyrics that I need to understand that I don't understand. I'll be like, yo, bro, like in this song you said this, like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? And then Malcolm, that's it. But like, I wouldn't like, it wouldn't be like 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 a what do you call it when you love celebrities, like you oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue, man. What do they call them? Somebody in the chat, man, help me out.
What was it?
Like the groupies, yeah, the groupies.
Yeah,
Like, it
groupie.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
a groupie situation though. Like, I would come up real calm and just ask the question. I'd be like, I know you get this a lot, but I just need to ask you a quick question. But I wouldn't ask for no autograph or anything like that. I just never been like that. I see people all the time, and I just either never approach them, or if I get in their proximity, I just treat them just like anybody else. I say, hey, how you doing? And I keep it pushing. I don't be like, oh my God, is LeBron James. Like, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna do that. And it doesn't come from because I'm hating, or because, I feel like, that person doesn't deserve that. But I'm just like, I understand that you are treated like this all day. And just like you said, they don't even, man, they get that attention so much, it becomes repulsive to them in a way.
Oh yeah. They don't like it, man. A lot of them, the ones I've met, they do not like that. They be sneaking around, trying their best to be unseen.
Yeah.
You know. So again, that's why I be like, I can understand, because I'm very, very private, man, and you know, I get nervous a lot of times when people walk up to me and know who I am, you know, because I don't really know how they're gonna, you know, take me. Obviously, I'm not the type of somebody gonna ask for my autograph, so I don't get it like, of course, a celebrity would. But you know, pretty much everywhere I've gone, man, somebody recognized me, you know, and so when they ask me, "Are you Kevin Wesley?" I'm always like, depends on who that, you know. So I'm very, very private, man. I would prefer that things didn't happen the way they did. I'm not a person who really wants to be that, especially for, I guess, for something that I guess that can get me shot. Now I love making music and all that stuff, but I never really thought about being famous. You know what I mean? Yeah. It never hit me that if I'm gonna really do this, I'm gonna have to be known by somebody. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But so I can understand what it is to have a gift, or to have a voice, but at the same time still be very, very private. I can see why someone would say, I want my home to be a facility. You know, when I go out and pay for and go to the movies, I'm making somebody else rich again. When I go out and I take my children bowling, I'm making somebody else rich again. Mm-hmm. Why not just put that all in my home? You see what I'm saying? And now I don't have to worry about people running up to me wanting this stuff, but at the same time, still help the world. You see what I'm saying? So if a person is doing those things and still helping the world, I got nothing to say at the end of the day, because there's so many people, man, who don't live in a mansion and still don't do any. And I'm talking about, they do have expendable income, right, and they still don't help anyone. Period. And again, if we're gonna say let's not treat celebrities like celebrities, at the same time we have to understand that a dollar go a long way. Yeah. And if everybody gave a little bit, we wouldn't even be thinking about these people. We wouldn't be thinking about the people who have a lot, because we have enough between all of us to straighten out a lot of this, man. Look at how much money these churches get. They're not getting all this money from celebrities. They're getting this from common folk. Yeah. You know, people. Yeah. So it's by manipulation, no doubt about it. And the thing I wonder is, can we have that same unity, that same like passion to give, to see change, as we did when we was in the church and thought we was getting blessed or whatever from some sky daddy. You see what I'm saying? Because we can raise a lot of money and give a lot of money when we think some God wants us to. But can we really have that same passion for each other to really, I'm talking about to really see change? Yeah. Because the problem is with that type of thinking, we only give because we think it's going to help us in some way. So if I give you money, then I'm going to get blessed by God. So that's why I'm going to give. But if Sky Daddy ain't real and he don't care about who we give money to, then why am I give you my money? Because I ain't gonna get nothing in return for that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so what they don't understand is you're not giving your money to make some man and the deacons and stuff and just pay somebody's salary. You give your money because you want to see a better future, and that's the greatest gift of all. Nobody about to lie to you and tell you that you're gonna get a gift raining from the sky, and it's gonna be more than you can handle, and it's gonna be pressed down, shaken together. Like, if anybody telling you that, run. But if somebody's telling you, hey, man, contribute to this cause, and you're going to see a direct change in this community, and I will never take your money and be rich off of it. Right. Then to me, that's a better gift than imagining some God going to pour you down. Because when did he ever do it anyway? Think about how long some of y'all tithe, man, without getting a return. Some of y'all now give $20 to somebody and be like, man, what you do with the money? You just gave $20. Y'all been giving $200-$300 a week, sometimes a month, to churches, and you never asked them anything because you was depending on Sky Daddy to honestly accommodate you on all that stuff that you think he promised you, when you don't realize that even if he were real, even if Jehovah or Yahweh, whatever you want to call him, even if he existed, this giving you back a gift that you won't have room to receive, that was never about money. That was about planting seeds. If you plant a kernel of corn, it will grow you a crop eventually. So this is about, when it says pressed down, shaken together, and running over, they would shake all the seeds or rice or whatever into a pot until it was even on top. So everybody got the same amount. So when it comes to this stuff, you was lied to anyway. No God in the Bible ever told you if you give somebody money, he going to give it back to you. That's been the biggest lie ever. And so people being given off this stuff, not just tithe, but offering, they give them over because they think that God going to do something for them. Mm-hmm. And even if this dude existed, he never made that promise. That's the sad part.
Yeah, and then all of the offerings, man, they had to be burnt up anyway. So like most of the offerings, ain't nobody keep that stuff. They had to be burnt up. So I mean,
Right,
it still don't apply. But when Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive, they don't ever do the giving part though. You know,
right.
we all about the receiving, but we ain't about the giving. You know, that just pertain to you. That don't pertain to the church giving nothing. That pertain to you.
Facts. Right. And even right there, when you think about it, it's like it's telling you that you in a more blessed, or you in a better position to be giving somebody something than to be on the other end having to receive something from someone. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that means. Like if you in a position to where you can give somebody something, man, count it joy, because some people don't have nothing. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? And they all they do is asking for something. You see what I'm saying? So even if somebody be like, man, bro, can I borrow $20, man? Again, bro, like just the sheer fact that you can give him 20, knowing you don't have it like that. On the receiving end, there's people out here who, man, I went when I used to go to Cuba, they got $15 a month to live off of. $15 a month, man. That's it. Literally. A bottle of water still $1. So nothing's cheap. Ketchup probably like $7 just because of the import to get it there. So just so you can see, like the money is really twisted.
Yeah.
You still got to work every day, but your allotment is $15 a month, man. When I would go to Cuba, man, I would hand out $20 bills, and people would treat me like I just paid their month salary. Now, just
Yeah.
imagine what you make per month. Imagine somebody coming and giving you 5% over what you make per month. That would blow your mind.
Yeah.
20% over what you make per month. Just put it in your hand and say, this is for you. You see what I'm saying? I would come home like, we are so ungrateful. That's how I would be thinking. How we look at somebody give you $20, you're gonna be like $20. Man, in Cuba, man, they looking you in your face and saying, thank you. Like they mean that from the bottom of their heart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like a Cuban cigar in Cuba is $15. A Cuban cigar in America is crazy amounts. But you got to understand, in Cuba, that's still expensive because that's a month's salary.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So just imagine living like that. Over here, we really would, and over here we like, man, they only paying us, $12 an hour, $15 an hour. Their complaints over there is way different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's like we gotta broaden our perspective so we can see that like we don't have it as bad as we making it.
Right.
But we have to understand that don't mean you got to stay stuck where you are. Because somebody giving you a little bit more, a little bit bigger crumb, so you think, does not mean anything. It still ain't yours. You see what I'm saying? We got to learn to feed. We got to learn to feed and accommodate ourselves and take care of our own needs. I mean, and I'll tell you all day, man. I'm not a person who's about separation or hating any other race at all. But I'm gonna tell you, the one thing that people who identify as black need to do is really take care of their own needs. We should be selling our own hair, doing our own nails, right, all this stuff that we know we need, that we know we into, our cultural stuff. We need to, and honestly, it's a shame that we got to go to anybody else to get that done.
You're right.
It really is. And so that should be a first thing to say, man, if I'm getting my hair done, my nails done, my feet done by anybody that doesn't look like me, I really should be like, wow. I should make it a point to go, because I mean, honestly, man, mostly black men don't do that. Like we always go to black barbers. Yeah. I don't know any men who go to like white barbers or anything like that or whatever. And most black women gonna have black women do their hair, but they buy a lot of their supplies from these places. You see what I'm saying? And their nails and stuff like that, they go to
outside of that, they're not gonna do it.
Right.
Or just don't just live without it, and that's what I'm saying, Kevin. Like let's just take sports. Like we just all walk away from sports when you 70% of something, you got power. And you don't even realize how much power you have, man. But it takes everyone on the same level to just walk away from it. And if you under contract to where they can sue you or it's gonna hurt you financially, man, I'll play in the game. I'll play in the game. But you know what? When I catch the ball, I'm gonna fumble. I'm gonna fall down out of bounds. It's gonna be 4th and 89 because I'm gonna run the wrong way or something. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gonna make me do what I don't want to do. Like you know what I mean? So there's always ways out of things, man. But it's like you gotta understand your power, and we gotta work in unity, man. And this is like we all split up for our own selfish reasons, and we ain't never gonna get anything done. Just like me, like when you say you don't like being a public figure, I don't like being a public figure, but I realized like when you reached out to me, man, like in some of the videos that I made, like the first video I ever made, you reposted it, it got 11,000 views, and that was my first time being on Facebook, and I just realized, you know what, I I I say things that needs to be said, so I gotta do something with that. So
Absolutely.
if I run for office or be in some type of political position, like let's just say senators. Senators make about $150,000. I would do it for like 60, 70,000, and I would do a much better job. Like seriously, I'm like, if the budget is the problem, I will I will take less money. Like that's just how I think. But someone who like a lot of these politicians, they don't even do anything, and they just own the golf course making $150,000 a year. Not doing anything, just kick back, just living it up. I wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do it. I'm a person that I can live modestly for the sake of the collective, for the sake of everyone else. I don't need a $10,000 sofa. What's the difference? Like you gonna sit on it, it's gonna give you a massage, it's gonna like you know what I mean? Like what's the difference in a $10,000
Man, I
sofa
agree.
in a $500? So what's the difference?
I agree
And
with
I
you,
know there's a
man.
difference in quality, man, but really, man, what's the difference? It's just a
For real,
sofa.
for real.
But we look at these things, man, like, and we go crazy over them, man. Oh, I paid $25,000 for this living room set. I'm like, well, you a fool then, because there's no difference in that living room set or furniture set than just the one that has a little better quality and costs a whole lot less money. You know what I mean? So, but we caught up in capitalism, man, and just these fine things, and we just not in a position to even be wanting fine things. But it's not good for the collective, man. So that's all I'm saying,
I
man.
mean,
But
I tell you, it's crazy, man. Because I used to when I used to sell furniture. Oh, thank you very much, Janice Myers. Let me thank one more person before I get into this.
okay,
Um, but no, man, I used to work for a furniture company that was right beside a company like that. Thank you very much, Cedric Sherwood as well, and Sheehan, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Thank you. Um, all right, but I used to work at this furniture company, man. It was right beside one of those companies that sold like $8,000 ottomans, like footstools, $10,000, $20,000 sofas. And one day I walked inside, like just to see what the fuss was about. And the salespeople were just sitting around bored because people rarely even come in there, you know. But when you walk in, man, you don't see any furniture. You just see like frames everywhere and like fabric. So basically, when people come in there, they pick out the type of frame and everything they want their sofa to look like from the rooter to the tutor. Now, I definitely don't believe that there's a difference in the quality. I would say I think if the value was in anything, it's that they have this idea that nobody has that sofa, which is ridiculous. Because why would you care? You know what I mean? It's just, and it takes them sometimes months to make your set too. And these people be like, "That's okay, I don't need it." Just waiting for their stuff. If I pay you for furniture, I want my furniture. That's just me. I don't know.
yeah, when I leave,
I grew up poor. When I put the money in your hand, I want what I'm supposed to be getting. That's just me. I'm not waiting no 4 months in a living room set that I paid 20 grand for today. I'm sorry, but nah, man, they were waiting or whatever. So, and it be furniture they most likely not even going to sit on. And I mean, honestly, I really believe the idea is that there's just nobody else with that set. Which to me, like I said, is really ridiculous. You set on being that unique that the inside of your house got to be, your furniture got to be that different that you're willing to spend that much more money for it. I mean, an $8,000 ottoman, and I'm not talking about no big old ottoman that's almost like the size of something you can really sit on. I'm talking about a footstool, bro, and they look cheap as the stuff I was selling. Like I'm telling you straight up.
yeah,
You can feel it and pick it up. I'm looking at it because I was an upholsterer. I worked for a furniture company, Broyhill, and I built furniture for them. So I know how to look at furniture, man. That's probably why I was so good at selling it as well. But man, I go over there and look at the furniture and flip it upside down and stuff, like I'm gonna buy something or whatever. And I'm like, man, this is the same stuff we sell. Like, but they charging way more. And I honestly, just the idea of spending that much for stuff attracts certain buyers too. They love to spend money or love to say they spent money. It's that feeling of, I guess, that they did it. You know what I mean? It's the same reason somebody buys a one bag over another. I mean, you can call it quality all you want, but these things are not that much more, that much better in quality than the next bag. I mean, it's some of these leather stores that got really nice bags for like 100, $200, but people would rather go buy a $3,000 bag. And it's honestly because it costs $3,000. What else is the reason? You're not about to tell me that design on it, because some of them don't have a design. They just be a normal brown or whatever color, but of course it'll have the small logo or whatever on it. And these bags still cost a grip, and so you got to think, why would you prefer that bag over the other? It is solely the price. If it wasn't,
just like you said, we gotta get out of the matrix, man. We gotta get unplugged from the matrix. In the chat, Pay Homage is asking me if this is a Cam Newton jersey. It's an Auburn jersey, man. I was a big Auburn fan, and I think that's a good key to just tell you, just to show you how much I'm just like disconnected from this whole thing, man. So I got a pair of scissors right here, and I'm just gonna actually just cut this jersey like right off of me, because like when I tell you like none of this stuff means anything to me, like it doesn't mean anything, man. So we get hold on, I gotta cut this part. I can't tear this one. It's a little tough. But yeah, like none of this stuff means anything. So when your team wins, you don't win. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I just cut the jersey off. It's all cut up, it's destroyed. Yeah, you could have like Rick, you could have gave it to somebody, man, but it's just trash, man. So I'm fully like disconnected. I don't owe loyalty to any team. I don't want to spend my energy and give my money and just feel like when this team loses, I'm all depressed and feeling bad. When they win, I feel good, and nothing has changed in my life really. Like I'm still in the same economic condition. I'm still in the same financial position. But the team is they got money. The coach is getting money. He got a contract extension for a couple $1,000,000, but I didn't get anything from it. Just a temporal feel good, and that's it. So this system does not work without us. It doesn't work without our children. It doesn't work without our attention and our energy. So if we want things to change, we have to be the ones that's going to change it. So I just feel like I really could change this country, man, in like 2 years. Like when a president gets 4 years, 8 years in office, I feel like I could change this country, man, in 2 years. We're like, Rick, that's impossible. No, it's not. They thought it was impossible when they went to the moon. But that didn't stop them from going to try to do it. And I know you conspiracy theorists be like, well, they never went to the moon, Rick. Follow the logic, okay? You didn't know how you was going to get to the moon, but you figured out a way to do it, okay? So all of these problems and all of these issues that we supposedly have in this world, we can solve them if we wanted to solve them. And I would be the person to do it. I don't want to fill out no NCAA bracket. If I was a president, who you got for your bracket, Rick? Don't even ask me because I didn't fill it out. We're not going to the Olympics, summer or winter, until we get this country fixed. And then all of the other countries can really look at America like, man, they really care about their people. They're really trying to do what's in the best interest of their people. And all of these other countries, we could be in harmony then. We can go over and talk to some of these people, like all of these terrorist groups and things like that hate this country. If they see this country actually really trying to do the right thing for their people and for the world, that can be changed. Okay, so I truly, man, I politics and all that nonsense, dude, I could change this country in 2 years. I'm telling you, like all of the violence, all of the police shootings, all of those things could be solved. But it's just it's pussyfooting. It's people sitting on their hands. It's people just like refusing to change, and they don't want to change anything. Okay, so let's talk about the police brutality. If the police if the police want to make a connection with the community, how about when they pull you over, they say, "Excuse me, sir, I pulled you over for speeding, not trying to take you to jail. I can't search your vehicle because I don't have probable cause." Tell the citizen their rights. Except the only right that they tell you is the right to remain silent. Won't they open up the police station and have some type of interaction, some fun day with the police officer? No, they don't want to do. Like, I got many ideas that can bridge the gap between the police and the community, but you know what? They don't want to do it because it's easier to bust you upside the head when they don't know you. It's easier to kill you if they don't know you. If your kids ain't never played with their kids, it's easier to brutalize you. You know what I mean? So all of these issues that we have, man, they can be solved very easily if we really wanted to solve them.
That's true, Ricky. That's true. I wanted to say something real quick. Pay Homage just said something earlier, man. It just got me tickled. He, of course, Pay Homage's parents were pastors or whatever, and he said, I always wondered why my parents always made me put into the collection plate when the collection was coming back to us. I said, dang. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious to me. Like, why they make this man put money in there if it's coming right back to the family?
It's just for show, man. It's just for show.
No, man, they didn't give it back to him. They took his money.
Oh, they didn't give it back to him? Okay.
Pay homage, man. They stole your money, bro. That's crazy, man. It's just funny just hearing that. Like, I always wonder why I gotta put it in. If the money coming right back to us, like, man, Pay Homage, your allowance was your own. I just want to let you know that your allowance was your money. That was yours.
Dude, they was just, man, I said my mom my grandmother put that large amount of cash in cash. Like, you know, I was talking to my family, they said she put it in cash in the collection plate. I was like, if I was there as soon as she dropped it, I would have reached my hand in there and pulled it back out. I was like, y'all ain't getting this money. And I would have dared anybody to say anything about it. I was like, no. I was like, y'all not, this old lady, she's mentally incompetent. Like, she don't know what she's doing right now. Y'all not getting this $10,000. You ain't getting it. I'm sorry.
Right.
But I wasn't there, man. So they let her drop that large amount of cash in that collection plate like on Coming to America, bro. They ain't do nothing about it, bro.
Man, that's crazy. That's exactly crazy, man. Because it's like, to know that somebody's not in their right mind if they're gonna do that. You know what I mean? Especially they don't have anything themselves. You know what I mean? And I done seen this, man. People get their income taxes and walk into church and everybody just excited to walk up to the altar and drop their money. I've done it. You know, I put $1,000 on the altar one time when my taxes came back. It was my first time. I just had a baby, so I ain't never got no big income tax check or nothing like that. And I got like $3,000 back. Man, I ain't even asked my children's mama nothing, man. I'm gonna carry my baby and everything.
Yeah.
And just put $1,000 on it, and knowing I needed that money. But I really thought if I put $1,000 right here, God is gonna hook me up. I know God gonna really help me because He know I need it. And this is my faith. And I'm showing you my works, my faith. I'm showing you faith without works dead, right? And needless to say, I was just out $1,000, man. I promise. And then what happens is you look back on it and be like, man, I should have never did that. But if I had that back.
Yeah, man, there's a few people in the chat saying a few things. Amon Ra says police was created during slavery to control the ancestors. Yeah, I totally understand that. You know, I totally understand how the police originated, how they came about. My whole thing is, man, I just see through all of the hypocrisy, man, and I'm just like, I'm just not for it. You know, I'm not like a anti, like just an antagonist on everything, man. But it's like when you, it's painful when you can see things that people just refuse to see. And then sometimes it's like the facts are just right there in front of you, and we just don't want to acknowledge it. You know, I just watched a movie this weekend, 12 Angry Men. And all it takes is just one person, man, to like sometimes just stand up against something in a way that it could change the minds of everyone else, man. So I mean, if I gotta be that one, I gotta be that one. You know, Kevin is that one. You may be that one. And sometimes we just gotta pay the cost, man. Like I put out like material, and I ain't looking to die or nothing like that, man. But it's just like if that's the cost in a certain situation, and it's not anything radical or extreme, you know, sometimes you gotta give your life. You might lose it. You know, Sandra Bland, like at that time, she just had enough. She had enough. Like she didn't deserve to die. But you know, sometimes, man, you know, enough is enough. And this country can change
Right.
everything, man. And it's like they need to before it's too late. Before it get out of hand. And I'm not even saying about just an internal uprising. But what I'm saying is like you think these other countries don't see what the United States is doing and just like shaking their head like, man, these people, man, they just I don't know. Like I would even be afraid for the country, man, to just go about business the way that this country does, man. And just if everybody just gang up on America, man, America be in trouble. Your allies ain't always your allies. What I mean? They can turn against you. You can get infiltrated. You use infiltration a lot in your tactics. You don't think you can get infiltrated? Because that's what they do. They infiltrate your systems and your organizations and destroy it from within. So you think that can't happen to you? So I'm just saying, America needs to clean up its act, and that's
I'll
all.
tell you, man. I don't know if you saw this video. I'm not sure exactly what part of Africa it was in, but it was a speaker, someone in position, was speaking about America in Africa, and he was saying they are killing our people in America. They just killing our people, and he was just saying this, they killing our people in Africa, and he was just saying like just the sheer fact that they know this in other countries, to the fact where they're saying that, to the point where they're saying it publicly, like they're killing our people in America, and we live in America. You see what I'm saying? It's like we don't even see it as that bad, because it's like we don't see it every day in our minds, but we think it only happens when we see it on the news. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
When it's something that's national, it's like, oh, they shot another black person. Man, this stuff has been going on forever. And believe me, just because it's not on the camera, or it's not, of course not recorded, and it's not on Facebook or something like that, don't mean it didn't happen. There's a lot of casualties. If you could look this up, how many casualties are caused per year by color, and it will blow your mind. And it's not just going to be, your your Mike Browns and things like that, the people who were big publicized and had T-shirts with their names on them in memory of and all this stuff, and people marching over. You're gonna see a lot of names you never heard before, a lot of strange names, people you never thought of, but got gunned down, and it wasn't recorded. So believe me, there's a lot of things that go on that we don't see, and we get we get excited or get upset about the things that we do see. We have to understand it goes on a whole lot more than we actually think. That's why we need to really, really wake up. That term woke is, it gets used a lot, really lightly, but being completely aware of what's going on, and not, biting your tongue for sheer sake of making somebody feel comfortable. It's bad out here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it really is, like, and economically, man, it's bad out here.
Yeah.
Black people who identify as black, are definitely at the bottom. And if you're at the bottom on the economic scale, you will be at the bottom on the social scale as well.
You will.
I'm telling you, being broke is a poor excuse. And I hate to say that, the irony, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's time for us to come together in spite of money or whatever, and make this happen.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you got there has to be some selflessness though, Kevin. Like you can't, like we're so, like, now I don't want to say all of us. When I say we, I was like, it's just too many of us are just like all about, me and my family. As long as me and my family are okay, that's fine. But like a lot of us, when people say certain things out in the public and they let you know who they are, like I applaud them. Like I don't get upset. I don't get mad. I'm like, thank you for saying that. That lets me know where your mind is, and that lets me know what side you're on. Because when something happens to you or your family, I'm like, you like Rick. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, hey, what's the matter? Ain't that your dream come true? Well, don't holler about police brutality. Don't holler about something that happened to you. Like just don't. That's what you wanted, because you thought everything was good and you didn't want to fight. So just go ahead and take it. That's what I'm saying. So when people say certain things and do certain things that's against the group, that hurts the group, I'm just like, cool. We should just go ahead and take a note of that person. Be like, okay, we know who that is. We know who they are. So just leave it at that. So I'm just like, man, we could change everything, man, if we really really wanted to. Now, as far as us as a group, as a whole, we are at the bottom economically, and all of these things that's been given to us, these possible solutions to kind of bridge the gap. The gap ain't never gonna get bridged unless we have a claim. It's just like I'm in insurance, so I'm gonna speak in insurance terms right now. So it's just like when somebody hits your car, okay, they have damaged your car. When you get into an accident and the person you just got this your trunk, the trunk of your car is pushed in, and you just get out of the car and tell the person, oh man, don't worry about it. My back is a little hurt. My trunk is pushed in. Don't you worry about it. So no, that person has to indemnify you. Okay, so that person files a claim. Excuse me, you file a claim against that person, and they have to indemnify. They have to make you whole again. So America has damaged us. This country has damaged us, but they haven't made us whole. And it's damage. People be like slavery, blah blah. No, man, listen. We're not talking about ancient Egypt. We're not talking about 700 BCE. We're talking about like you can touch it. We have people that's still alive right now that was discriminated against, that went through Jim Crow, that went through redlining, all of these things that the government did to our people. They still alive. And we talking about what y'all talking about, man. No, you have a claim. America needs to indemnify its people. Then we can start healing. Then we can start not talking about race anymore. Once you pay what you owe, pay what you owe. Because we can't do anything without money, man. We can't go to another country. We can't go nowhere. We can't relocate without any money, without any resources. We just can't do it.
So we'll have to come together.
We got audio. Oh, okay. I thought we had an audio issue, man. I didn't hear you guys.
Oh no, you're actually fine, man. I was just getting my thoughts together.
Okay.
So that just means so we definitely have to come together and understand economics, especially if we're gonna live within the matrix. And we've all gotten comfortable with it. Some of us wouldn't even understand life without it. You know what I mean? Without being in the matrix. So if you're gonna live in the matrix, money is 100% needed. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going back to, a more natural way of living, which most people are not really trying to hear that. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you're gonna continue the lifestyle that you have, the one that you have gotten comfortable with, money is the resource that we're gonna absolutely need. So we're gonna have to understand economics and understand how important it is that you do give to organizations that's trying to help. And not just that, but make sure they're doing what they say they're gonna do. We're not trying to create some another church environment type deal, yeah. And not even the typical nonprofit type deal. I've told you guys before that March of Dimes only give 10 cents of every dollar they have to the actual cause. That's why they call themselves March of Dimes. So you have nonprofits out here who bringing in billions of dollars as well. That's only giving a small percentage of what you give to them to the actual need. So we need someone who's we need people who are going to be honest and upfront about what they're doing and really set out to do it, because the intention is not that you become rich, but it's that you make the world around you, make your people, the lifestyles wealthy, by creating businesses, creating other opportunities in the communities, so you can make them better. If you're not doing that, you're in the way. If you're taking the resources and using them for yourself, and it's over in abundance like that, then you're in the way. You are the problem. You're a part of it, just as much as any of these companies out here who mistreat us and we begging them to hire us. You worse, literally, because you're taking an actual resource we're giving you and you misappropriate it. So we have to do better, man. We have to make sure that we give them to the right people, and we have to check behind them, man, and make sure it's being done. And I'm not talking about nickel and diamond, but I'm saying if you really out here and you know that a company or a nonprofit is really bringing in this money and they're not doing what they said they're going to do, man, they need to be held accountable. Just like these churches. Yeah. We would love to see the day where all our family members go back to these churches and be like, "Where's our money?" But we have to admit it. Then they have to do this with a lot of these nonprofits as well. Like you got these clothing centers on the side of the highway and stuff like that, where you can just dump the clothing off, and that clothing does not go to the homeless. You see what I'm saying? And it's like people think it does though. So that it just shows that they don't they're not researching where this stuff is going.
Yeah.
We got to do better.
Yeah, all these donations, man. People donate cars. It's just, man, like I don't even understand the greed, man, because like a lot of the people that's being greedy, they don't even need to be greedy. Like they just being greedy just for no reason. They already own 2, 3 houses. Like why you gotta have a house in Florida and then a house in New York and then a house in California? I'm like, that's just ridiculous, man. Like it's just a ridiculous amount of greed, man. You're like, well, when I want to go skiing, Rick, I want to have the cabin up in, on the slopes. I'm just like, come on, man, you really need that? And just like you said, man, like we're not serious enough about starting over. Like, let's say we did have the money and we had to go develop our own country and our own land. Like, we ain't trying to put that work in. Like it's a few of us that would, just like we had a conversation, off camera that, yeah, we would be willing to put that work in and just go build another community, just like from the ground up, knowing that the community is not going to flourish maybe until after you dead. But you was instrumental in starting that community. You ain't gonna see it develop and thrive. You're not gonna see it. But we're not willing to, like a lot of us, we got to be in the mindset that sometimes the work that we're going to put in is going to be something that we're not going to see be finished. It's just like you build a Great Wall of China, no one saw that. A lot of people died and didn't see that wall finished. I think it took like a couple hundred years to build a Great Wall of China, if I'm not mistaken, like 600-700 years or so. If somebody in the chat knows, please correct me on that. But it took hundreds of years to build that wall, man. But they worked on it though. They worked on it. So True. It takes hundreds of years for us to build the community and the civilization and the harmony and the peace and the unity that we need. Like, why not? Why not? I'll go sleep in a tent. I need me a couple books though. I'll go take me a couple books, sleep in a tent, get up at 6 in the morning, build a house. Work on it till we done for the day, until the community gets built, and we can have our own community, make our own rules, and live by our own codes and ethics. And just start over. Get you a queen, and be a king. I'm like, baby, we in the tent right now, but we almost finished with how we'll be done with the house next week. You know what I mean? So but who's really gonna do that?
Right. I mean, and honestly, like I say, man, as fast as a lot of these people know how to build houses. When it comes, I don't know if you guys seen where they use the trailers they'll normally be used on the back of like a truck, like what LeSean drives.
Yeah, the shipping container house.
A tractor trailer. Yeah, and in the container houses or whatever. So it's a lot of ways to build a lot of housing for the people that's going to be over there building housing wherever we decide to build or whatever. That would be a beautiful thing, man. Like I said, if everybody in the community could literally have a job, you know what I mean? Like everybody could be doing something.
Yeah.
There's people who can cook, who can prepare food really well. That's your restaurant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody in the community will be eating from the community's restaurants, because where else we gonna eat from, right?
There you go.
Have your people who do your hair and take care of what you look like, all that stuff that we like, buying your clothing, all that stuff can be in the same community. So you can literally make it where everybody can have a job. Construction, people who pave the roads. I mean, if we're gonna be doing all of that stuff, you're gonna always have people who can get out here and do the same stuff, but literally be building a life for yourself and be making what you should be making. Build while you build. So it's not like Ricky was saying, we may not be able to see the full fruition of our goals, but we can still live a good life. I mean, you got to think, at least you ain't gonna be going inside of some small apartment that you can barely afford. That costs you $2,000 a month because you live in a city. I mean, honestly, life would get better for you within your lifetime. You see what I'm saying? We may not see the whole vision come to fruition, but life will get better for you individually and you and your family.
Yeah.
I would say that. I would definitely say that would happen within your lifetime.
Man, and you building something, Kev. Like you the start of something great. Like what? Like it has to start somewhere, but because you ain't gonna be able to watch the football game, like that's gonna be that's just gonna ruin your life. You ain't gonna be able to see March Madness. That's gonna ruin your life. Like that's just an unbearable sacrifice. I'm sorry. Like I got
right.
Come on, man. Like what are we doing? Like we can
Absolutely.
man, I'll give that up quick. Like, quit. Whatever it takes. Like, I'm willing to do it.
It's like if you went there, let's say everybody went there, we got enough material and all to just build houses, right? You go over there for, a year, 2 years, you got free housing, but you know how to plant. So you're going to get out there and you're going to, farm. We're going to get crops so we can feed the community, right? Have our own grocery stores, all this kind of stuff. But you'll be willing to do all of that because you don't need money for nothing anyway already because you're taking care of your food and your housing's taken care of. And you wouldn't live on a money scale for the first year or so because you've been given a house. I mean, you've been given a house. It took you 20 years to pay that crap off in America or wherever anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So again, it don't take money to make trees or to actually make brick and mortar. Yeah. You're not putting money into a machine and getting out your rocks and stuff like that or whatever. Obviously, I'm not a construction worker. I don't know how to do that stuff, but we would find people who can do it.
Yeah.
But whenever you're making your foundation or whatever with cement, that's made from natural things, right? Absolutely. And so what we do is we can get together and create these things and not necessarily need money. We just need the know-how and the people who are willing to get out there and do it. You see what I'm saying? Because if I knew how to build a house, I honestly would be able to do it without paper, without dollars, because I know that not $1 actually goes into the construction of your house. You see what I'm saying? not $1, not one. It's not in the drywall, no nothing. Yep. That's what you're paying for it, but it's materials that built your house. So if you can get the materials and have the know-how, then money wouldn't be required to build a house. You understand?
Yeah, there you go.
And then you can create your economy from there. Of course, when planting the food, selling the food, having grocery stores and things of that nature, when you start shipping in and out, because I mean, we're gonna have our own crops grown from scratch, real crops. Maybe we can, ship internationally and really, maybe the government probably gonna have a problem with that, but we'll cross that bridge before we burn it.
Yeah, but for sure, man, it ain't gonna be no Jim Jones situation. So leave the Kool-Aid here, okay? But but seriously though, the whole Jim Jones situation, they kind of did just that. It just went bad because they try to control everything. You know what I mean? But I mean, we can start like here though. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like if you gonna clean up the community, clean up the community. Take some of these young men that's on the street that don't have no hope, and we need resources to be able to do this. A lot of these people, they're buying up all of the property, Kevin. They like people losing their homes due to they overdo on their taxes, and you got people with money, bro. They buying up all that property. You think they buying up all this land and all of these dilapidated houses in the hood just to leave it that way? No, they buying up that cheap property because they gonna develop it. So all I'm saying is we spending money on Rolls Royce and just dumb stuff, because we want to feel like somebody. We want to get this feeling and this reaction from people. When it don't even make sense for you to drive a luxury car when you're rich anyway, because people already know you're rich. If you see Bill Gates get out of a Toyota Prius, you ain't gonna be like, "Oh, I saw Bill Gates get out of a Toyota Prius," because you know he got money. If you see Jeff Bezos get out of a Camry, you ain't gonna be like, "Oh, I saw Jeff Bezos get out of a Camry. It must be broke." You're not gonna say that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we feel like we gotta have the most expensive car and just the biggest house, just so people can know we still got a little bit of money. And then we broke. We almost broke. But yeah, man, we can start here, buy up these tax liens or these properties, rebuild it, or when gentrification come, because it's coming. So you ready for it. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why, man, I'm getting into real estate. I'm about to get this knowledge, and I'm gonna share it with my people, and I'm about to learn this stuff, and I'm about to be on it. So yeah, we gonna get somewhere.
Heck yeah. I want to see it, man. Like we was talking about earlier, man. It's like we said, we're about action. We want to see it. We don't want to be talking about this 5 years from now, a year, 2 years from now. We don't want to be talking about this. We want to be really out here doing something, man. That's the last thing I want to be. It's just somebody who do a podcast every week, man. I swear to you, bro. Like if that's what it is, I handed my resignation now because that was never I didn't sign up for that. I want to be change. I want to create change. I want to know that everything I'm sacrificing is worth something. not just a bunch of talking, man. And I really want people to understand that I'm not a talker. I really want to do, and we really need to do, because if we don't, it's not going to get done. I mean, we have to understand that they're not giving us reparations. They're not.
Yeah.
Nobody's cracking the sky open to rescue us from what we complain about, the problems that we see every day. Nobody's doing that. So you're not going to get rescued from your government or your God that your government gave you. So it's up to you.
Yeah.
Like Ricky say, the only God that we need is each other. Like that's if we can grasp that concept, we can do this. But until then, we just praying, man. We just talking and ain't nothing happening. And we have to say, man, I don't know it all, but I'm telling you, there are other people that know things that we don't know. You see what I'm saying? There, like you said, you going into real estate. I got another real estate friend, Courtney. Y'all know a whole lot more than I know about acquiring properties. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get out here and play like I know it when I got friends who know this stuff. You see what I'm saying? And maybe I can be more useful in that area and know more in a certain area than you. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And we got to find those people who can help us in ways that we don't know. If somebody was to say, Kevin, give me the answers, I'm gonna tell you right now, just like Kanye said, I ain't got the answers, Sway. I don't have them all, but I do know that it's about action. I know I don't want to sit here and be talking 2 years from now, man.
Yes.
I know that for a fact.
For sure.
And I know that we need the people around us who can do some things that we can't, to be willing to do some things, and understand that we ain't asking you to put your life down. Nobody's asking you to give up your life.
Yeah.
We asking for this is small. We're talking about small donations, small contributions between every one of us.
Right.
And watch what it can do. We could raise, honestly, man. Just all the people who follow my pages alone, 150 something thousand on one page and then 120 something thousand on another. Man, if everybody gave $2, we could have over $300,000 in no time, and be really doing something strong in the community just that quick, $2 or $3.
Yeah.
But are we willing to do it? Because there's going to be this fear there. What if he takes the money and runs? Well, there's a chance, I guess. There's a chance. But when you have a nonprofit, it's set up to where you cannot do that if the people do complain.
Right.
So and the return would be immediate. I'm not out here playing games. I wish somebody would try me. I wish somebody would give me the opportunity, because I will be known for doing exactly what I say I'm going to do. And I feel like so far I've done nothing but that. I said I was going vegan, and dadgummit, I did it. I'm not a person who just be out here just talking. Mm-hmm. I do. If I'm going to tell y'all something and expect y'all to evolve, I'm going to do it. Josh will tell you, Josh commends me on that all the time, man. You actually do what you say you're going to do, man. That's crazy. Not many people do that, but I feel like that's what it's about. If Josh say, man, we need to work on something, I might be like, okay, cool. And it'll never happen again or something like that. Josh will be like, man, you really actually listen. Like, it's amazing. So it's one of those things where it's like, I really wish we could all take that mentality and just apply it and say, if I can learn to be better, why not just be better? It's just crazy. I don't want to just see all the problems with what I'm doing, but never fix it. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because it's your life and you got to keep dealing with it. And then you're going to, just like Ricky was talking about with, the sports team and your God and your belief system, you're going to give it to your children. If you smoking cigarettes, if you really bad alcoholic, you can pass that right on to your children. And so if you know something's not right for you, you need to change that situation, because if it ain't right for you, it probably ain't right for your kids either. And so we have to take the mindset to say, man, I need to change my life, because again, nobody's cracking the sky open, and the government's not about to bring you no reparation check. Well, you can forget about that stuff.
Right.
It's up to us.
Yeah, for sure. Like we gonna it is gonna be up to us. We gonna still fight for them reparations though, Ken. We gonna fight for that. I want that money. No, it's not even a money, man. It's like whatever it could be. You know what I mean? What it's like, tax exemption, free education. Like we gotta get something, and I look at it from the standpoint like this. It seems like it's not gonna happen, but is it like they say, knock, is somebody gonna open? You know what I'm saying? Is it like if somebody start knocking on my door right now, I can ignore it for like 1 minute. But if they just keep knocking on, eventually I'm gonna come to the door like, why you keep knocking on my door? You know what I mean? So if you just keep knocking, eventually they gotta hear it, man. But we need leaders who are apt to say, you know what, this gonna make it right. It can't make up for the history, but at least we're trying to do something that is going to actually help bring the country together a little bit. But exactly what you're saying, man. Don't want to keep doing a lot of talking. We got to take action. You know what I mean? So again, like just like what you said, man. 2 years from now, no, I don't want to be talking. But like I'm glad you brought me on the platform because I want to be somebody that the people trust to be able to do what he say he gonna do. Just like like you said, Josh, was like, man, astounded that you always do what you say you gonna do. Like you can give me the money because I ain't gonna do nothing with it. Because if you come in my house, you can see, man, Rick live modestly. Rick got an average car. Rick, it's not because he broke. It's just, well, I am broke, but what I mean from if you compare me to rich people, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like I'm not a flashy dude. Like I don't even want that type of attention. Like this is the same shirt I had on last week, in case you're wondering. Like kill the speculation. You know what I mean? So I mean
Silly, man.
I watched it though, you know what I mean? It's the same shirt. Like I'm not like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm as real as they come, bro. Like you I'm not gonna run off with nobody's money because I don't want these material things. So you gotta find people that have that type of mindset, that way you can trust them with whatever resources that we trying to allocate, or whatever goal we trying to accomplish. So we gotta trust each other in that way.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If they were to eventually give some type of reparations, I want it in the form of non-taxable land
Yeah.
they can't take back, and I want it in a place where we got access to water resources,
Mm-hmm.
food resources, not just no desert land. I'm talking about some land where we can really live off of it. All this can be have the ability to do what we want to do on our land.
Mm-hmm.
Give us our world back, because at the end of the day, there's not enough paper they can print that
Right.
can accommodate what they've done.
Oh,
You
of
see what I'm
course.
saying?
Of course.
So, and if you just give us paper and we buy land, then we still got to pay you taxes on it. So it really is still your land. We just
Yeah.
renting it. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I want to own something. Like, because that's what people don't understand. We live in America. You can own. You can't own nothing. You don't pay taxes on your car. You're gonna have to park it,
There you
and
go.
then eventually they can come take it. Same thing with your house. You can own you can go buy your house right now, straight cash, and don't have the taxes for it, and they can take your house.
Yeah.
That's what bullies do. Give
Yeah.
me this money. Just give me this amount of money, and nobody just happen to break into your store. Nobody just happen to rob your house. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what a tax is,
Mm-hmm.
and we all do it every day because we don't. We've been bullied for so long. We don't even realize we victims no more, and that they bullies no more. We think it makes sense to be paying taxes.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
really
we,
do.
we 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 get taxed. They take our taxes. Just like Malcolm said, taxation without representation. Like I can't tell you what to do with my tax dollars. I can't,
Right.
if I disagree with how you using my tax money, I can't say, I'm not gonna pay it anymore. So you're right, man. It's just a total unfair system, and then you decide how much tax I pay depending on what area I'm in. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's crazy, man. It's
And
ridiculous.
I'm saying the thing is, they already tax your check, so they're already going to tax you there. But then every time you buy something, they tax you, right? A dollar costs 2 cents to print. It's 6 cents on the dollar if you live in North Carolina and Georgia. So you think about that. You pay more in taxes than it costs them to even print the actual dollar. So you paying them $3 worth of change just to spend $1. You see what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just it's nuts, man. So there's no power, actual power, in money when it comes to the people that's just printing it, giving it to you. And again, they tax you there, they tax you when you buy something, and not only that, they tax you on your land and your house. They should not be taxing you on your land and your house. Something that you already own, they should not be able to tax you on that. That's cold blooded. It's like they're not gonna come back to your house and tax you on your washing machine and dryer and stove and refrigerator when you paid for that years ago, but they'll do it for your house that it's in. They'll do it on the car that you drive.
Every year.
And it's that type of stuff needs to stop, and we stand for it. They already taxing us out our check, and you need to build highways and do stuff like that. Whatever, okay, you print money, but somehow you need mine. Whatever, you getting me there already.
Yeah.
But dadgummit, man, you're not about to be taxing me on my house every year. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. They tax you right, man. I ain't never really thought about it like that, man. They just tax everything.
Yeah, and you really just renting your own house, the house that you own.
Yeah.
You renting it. Because if you don't pay taxes, they can put you out your house and just sell it to somebody else. Like,
it happens
it's
all
crazy,
the time.
bro.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Take your stuff and sell it to somebody else, bro. Yeah. If that ain't a bully, I don't know what it is.
Kevin, they have a Vice documentary, like in a lot of the property in Detroit is being purchased. They had a lady who owned the house, fell behind in the property tax. They got auctioned off, and then the people who bought the house rented it back to her. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that stuff is happening right now, man. Like it's not a far-fetched situation. And then like James said, we are definitely overtaxed. Like we getting taxed, and like I say, taxation without any representation at all.
Right.
But like I was saying in my let me go back to my notes here, Kevin, because I had put something in here, man. I just want to kind of touch on real quick because I had made a point, and I was like, if we make a better reality, we don't need to escape it. You know what I mean? So that's what that's what sports is all about, escapism. Entertainment is all about escapism. But if we create a better reality for ourselves, then we don't need to escape from it. So we don't need all of this entertainment. Oh, I got to kick back, man. I need to watch, a movie or a TV show. If we create a better reality for ourselves, there's no need for us to be able to have to think that we need to escape from it, and that's what it all comes down to.
True. I know you probably about to get into it, but I want to thank Shondell real quick, man. Thank you for the donation, brother. We talked earlier this week, man, and for you to be still donating at this point, man, I'm just honestly I'm grateful. So thank you very much, brother. Like you said, you hope the next week's is better for us both. Same here, bro. Thanks a lot, man. Like I say, actions speak louder than words, man. That's powerful. Sorry about that, Ricky.
Oh no, man. I had already made my point, Kev, man. So you good, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, Sundell, man, peace, man. You a good dude, man. I know Kevin always make fun of your deep voice, bro, but you talking like Kev. I want to ask you a question real quick, man. Like, did you ever hear anything back from Jerry, man? Because I remember Jerry was dealing with some issues, man. Like how you ever know how she doing?
I'm sorry, with who now?
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Oh yeah. Jerry's fine, man. Yeah, I heard from Jerry. I think right when I went into the to surgery, she checked on me to see how I was doing.
Okay.
But yeah, last I spoke with Jerry, man, she seemed fine.
Okay, cool.
But I definitely check up on her and let you guys know.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that, man. But yeah, so yeah, but I just wanted to ask you, but I didn't mean to ask you about it a lot. But I was like,
no, that's absolutely fine, bro.
I was like, man, don't say that bad, man. I don't want no bad news, man. Like, don't say that.
No, man. Like, Jerry turned out to be crazy, yo. Psychopath. No, it's
fine. Yeah. Tamasha down to go build a new civilization. Hey man, we just need somebody to know how to build toilets, man. I need a toilet. I'm sorry. I need to be able to go to the bathroom, man. I just we need to take a plumber with us. If we Josh gonna hold down the IT and he gonna give us lights. I can help build the houses, but we need a toilet.
all I need is somebody to just teach me and I'll do it. I'm willing. I'm willing to build the houses. I'm willing to help with the IT stuff, although I suck at that. So Josh don't need my help with that. I just be in his way. And I'm not mad about that.
Michael said and toilet paper too. Yo, toilet paper is important too, man. We need some toilet paper, man.
Yeah, man. Trust me, man. We'll figure all of that stuff out. Honestly.
Yeah, of course. We definitely go.
There's a YouTube video right now, I guarantee, on how to make your own toilet
paper. And you know what, man? I'm surprised.
And it'd be even more quilted and picker-upper than the quilted picker-upper.
Hey, I'll be surprised if there's not a video on YouTube how to make toilet paper. You know?
I'm telling you.
Man, everything on YouTube, man.
I want to ask you guys real quick. Do you guys think America is beyond repair for, I guess, us? I don't want to be like, I guess, a racial thing because there's other, people that suffer. But like, do you guys think it has to be abandonment to get what you need? Or, like, do you think it's like the grass is it like a grass is greener type of situation? Like that you believe would be the case if you were to leave the United States, or does that make sense?
It does.
Like,
I would say if you don't mind me going first, Ricky.
Oh no, no, no. Go right
Um,
ahead, man.
all right. So with the laws that they have currently in place and the system that we have right now,
mhm,
I would say it's better to leave, because if you're not going to like, because we don't have the power to change that system. So it's not so much of has it failed or is it beyond repair. It's that they're not willing to, and that's the system, and that's just what it's going to be. When you live in any country, you subject to their system. And if we want to be, and we know that the system wasn't made by the people who live today, but the system was made by the people who lived yesterday. You know what I mean? The people who founded this country, and those weren't good principles. And until those are changed, um, we're not going to be happy here. We're not going to be treated right. So the idea of leaving to me isn't a bad idea. But is the grass greener on this side, so to speak? Yeah. And I think that that's the thing. They make it comfortable enough to where you're not going to leave because you know that, oh, at least in your mindset, you're going back in time, and that's how you feel. I don't want to, you don't want to go. The idea that you already have of some of these places is already desolate or whatever. And honestly, frankly, going to those places don't mean that they want to attack you after that. Look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. You don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of people, I guess, they just say, "I'll settle for this amount of slavery before I try it on my own." I wish that we didn't think like that, but comfortability is a crazy thing, man. Again, like Ricky was saying, we got all these vices and things that we can run to, like sports and religion, to try to relieve our minds from what we actually see every day to give us false hope. And some of us know this stuff is giving us false hope, and we still do it anyway. Same way people run to drugs. They know it's not healthy for them, but they need to escape. And maybe all that combined with it being comfortable for some um, makes us docile. It's crazy, man. But I guess if you feed a dog, he won't run off.
Yeah.
okay.
It's
I was
hard, man. I mean, it's all that's a great question, Josh, and I think that's a question that a lot of us have. But when we talk in terms of like leaving the country, like if you look over the world, like where will we go? And I even thought about like I was listening to something the other day, and the guy made a point. He said that China is actually winning. So I was thinking, man, if we could just like get some type of, I guess, agreement with China or what, because when people say people always holler about Africa, and I'm not opposed to going to Africa, but it's like we are lost, man. Like we don't even like a lot of the Africans, and I'm not being again, dude, I love Africa, but a lot what we romanticize Africa, but a lot of Africans don't identify with us. So we
yeah.
and then Africa is a continent with like over 50 countries. So it's like where did you come from? Benin or the Congo or Sierra Leone? Like where did you come from? Burundi? Like where are you from? Nigeria. So we like all of those are different cultures, different Africans. Some of them they don't like each other. So it's like where do we fit in all of that? And I know Liberia is
That's a great
was
point.
founded by a lot of the slaves that were freed, who created and founded Liberia. But it's like where do we fit in all of that? So I even thought about us like going over to Africa, starting our own little situation over there, and then they come like we get attacked by the Africans, like they like we gonna take what y'all like. Yeah, we like what y'all got over here, like what y'all done started. But of course, we will have weight measures of protecting ourselves. We would have to establish some type of military or something like that to protect against that. But it's like we have to figure out where we would go. I just say it ain't necessarily got to be Africa, but if it is, um, I mean, whatever we could do. But in America, change is going to be very slow. It's going to be very gradual because of the political system and the way it's set up. A lot of those seats are occupied by people who ain't trying to change nothing for you, and then they either have to die out or we don't have the political situation to be able to vote them out. You know what I mean? So it's like we're in a catch 22. So if you're in a state that's mostly where you outnumbered, then you're not going to be able to vote that person out. And that person's agenda is going to continue. They're not going to develop or create any policies that's going to be beneficial to you and your people. So we messed up politically, and we messed up if we go somewhere. We have to be able to go to a place where we can trust that relationship with whoever we develop a relationship with outside of the United States.
No, I agree that was an excellent point. Um, if I had it my way, number one, it would be that you want to make sure you're going to go somewhere where people are going to treat you right.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I prefer somewhere that's going to be the weather's going to be suitable. So I don't want to go anywhere we're going to have to struggle to survive just based on the weather.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, I saw a documentary where it was showing like the amount of places where black people were mistreated in the world, and man, China was like one of the worst.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was some years ago, maybe I saw this documentary, and I don't know what part of China and stuff like that, but it was just showing how how they treat actual black people there that live there, um, and things like that. And it just blew my mind that there was so many places where black people are racist to them. And I think it was like one of the places where black people experienced the least amount of racism was like Germany or something crazy, like mind blowing. I think Lorenzo actually said, well, he did some military time in Germany and he loved it. He said he never experienced any racism. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think it was Germany that Lorenzo said that about.
I recall him saying something
But
to
I
that
mean,
effect also, Kev.
yeah, but it blows my mind, man. It's like just to think that I wouldn't have thought that, you know. But I mean, again, all of our minds have been programmed to a certain extent to where we wouldn't even know where to go. We do romanticize Africa. We love the idea that we um from there or our origin is from that part of the world, as if it matters or whatever. Where we originated, the fact is we here, but we do romanticize that landmass that someone named Africa. You know what I mean? And I really wish we could see past titles and things like that, not to diminish any place, but why do we romanticize it? Like you said, it's a continent, large, very, very large continent. You could put several United States over there. So, and so there are people who have different mindsets. We could literally go over there thinking that we um, really going to make a better lives for ourselves and literally be offensive to people who live there.
Yeah,
You building a house for what? It's offensive.
yeah,
Don't disrupt nature. You never know. So
yeah.
you really, like you said, you have to understand where you're going and understand who you're dealing with and make sure that they're not going, bring war upon you themselves. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We can't just think that if we move somewhere else, people gonna love us just because we look like them, and that's not necessarily true. That don't happen here, do it? I
Man.
mean, we don't just love each other because we look like each other. In fact, we judge each other more and treat each other in more disregard because we look alike. If we be honest, and we treat other cultures with a certain amount of respect, way more than we do each other. It's really sad.
Yeah, it was
We
just
got
like
it
you were
bad.
saying. It was just like you were saying, Kev, like on that show, Why We Challenge Religion, man. You made an excellent point. You says once we educate ourselves or increase our consciousness high enough to where we can remove, like you said, that mindset to where we are black or we are white, then we can live in harmony. We can live with each other, and we can intermingle and intermarry and all of that stuff. But as long as this thing race exists in the minds and the thoughts of everyone on this planet, we're always going to have these issues, so once we get there to what you was talking about, that is going to be the key to true peace, on this earth, man. Otherwise we just not ever going to get there.
Absolutely. And I think it's like you say, or like we talk about all the time, it starts in our minds. If we can learn um, the mistakes of our own ways, the things that we've been doing in ignorance, and correct them, we'll have a better world regardless of if we move or not. Wherever you go, you if you learn, you will make if you learn and do, you will make your individual life better no matter what. That's why I love that song, man, that Michael Jackson makes. And I know that when you watch him do the video, he's gonna be dancing and singing, and you're not gonna really be listening to the song. But that man said he was starting with the man in the mirror, and he said, I'm asking him to change his ways. Like, to me, that right there is powerful. I'm starting with the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways, man. That's powerful right there. We all need to do that. We all need to do that. Like, cause it's easy for us to point out at the world and be like, this person does this and this person does that, but we allow it. So we have to start with the man in the mirror and say, man, who are you that you in this predicament? Not through slavery. Who are you personally that you allow in your life to continue on the route that it's in? I don't care who was hung in the past. I don't care who was beat. I'm asking you personally in your life. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what's holding you back, man? And the answer is the man that you're looking at, the woman that you're looking at. I promise you, it's our own ignorance, man, that we're in the conditions that we're in. And I'm asking him to change his ways. Like, to me, that's just one of the most. I heard that song the other day, man. I was just like, every lyric in that song, he just keeps repeating that over and over because he's trying to get that in your head. He said, no human can do you any better. If you want to make the world a better place, well, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Like, that's powerful right there.
There you go.
I wish I could like play that song right now and just listen. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. That's what this man said, man. Like, wow.
If everybody did that, man, then it would just change almost instantly because everybody would be taking that self examination and challenging their thought process and their ideology. And if it's incorrect, and if they did change it, then the world would indeed it would indeed change. You know,
Absolutely. You make the world better by making you better. When you are better, the world itself is instantly better.
that's it.
The way out is in. That's what I always say, man. The way to escape is to go in, go inside of your mind and fix what they have given us. Fix the mistakes and fix the ignorance that they have given us, and take it upon ourselves to learn, because they're not going to correct it. This is the world that they want, and they created us, they trained us and programmed us to be conducive to the world that they want. So we have to correct that. We have to glitch and go away from that programming and create the world that we want. You understand? And if we're not willing to do that, we just forever be robots.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Again, you talking about song lyrics, man. I'm a big Neo fan, man. I'm like Rick over here quoting Neo. But in that song, what's the matter? He says we keep complaining about we won't change, but most of us won't do a thing. So everything stays the same. You know what I mean? So if you want to get something done, man, you
Absolutely.
you gotta do it. Like you gotta do something. You know, and this is what I was saying before in the beginning of the introduction of this podcast, man. I'm like, you sometimes, man, when that opportunity is there, man, you gotta seize it, you gotta grab it, man. You may not even know what it is. Just do it. Just act. Just act reasonably now, but just act. Some of us be like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But you don't even know what effect it may have. So I talk myself out of many things, and I never, if I would have never got on Facebook, if I would have never posted a video, if I would have never met Kevin, I would have never met Josh, I would have never met, all of the people. And I haven't met them personally, but the people in the chat, no one would know me except for the people that I encounter personally. No one would know me because I thought no one ever cared about anything I ever had to say. So my friends would tell me that, like, Rick, you got good information. You're pretty insightful. But I'm like, man, there's a lot of insightful people in the world. Why I got to get involved in this nonsense? You know what I mean? So, I could just go off, work my job, make my money, and be happy. And I don't have to be no social or activist or anything like that. So, but yeah, I got to do it because it's in me to do it.
And like I told you from the beginning, man, I've never been a person about I want to be in the limelight. I want as many people who are willing to speak the truth and are enlightened to what's going on around them. I want their voices to be heard, because the more of us, the better. And I think that the problem is for a long time we've been in the minority, and that's why I say that in 5, 10 years, if we keep doing what we're doing, man, a child shouldn't reach 12 years old before they hear on YouTube or wherever they are that Jesus is fabricated, that Jesus is plagiarized, Christianity is a hoax. You know, we didn't hear some of this stuff till we were grown. You know what I mean? And some of our grandparents still ain't heard this stuff. So what we're doing now, just by opening our mouths, man, and being willing to be ostracized. Is we are changing the future. We really are. Because soon, man, you ain't gonna be able to be able to type in Jesus or Christianity without hearing Christianity debunked or seeing this. Because we didn't get this growing up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as we're doing that, man, we can at least pull this world from religare brain. And if you can separate them from that, then you can have people developing on their own consciousness, on reality, on the things that's really going on and how to better their lives instead of waiting for some being to come out of the sky and do anything. And I think that alone is like removing a crutch, a handicap. You know what I mean? Because you force people to not contribute to stuff like that because they wouldn't even they've been challenged on it way too early. And think about it, man. If you most children, you get to them before 12, 13 years old, man, you're gonna talk them right up out of religion. They the easiest to talk to because they question it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I done had so many young people be like, "So you that pastor dude?" or whatever, and I be feeling bad because I used to just give out free information until one day one of the little boys he got so scared about what I was saying because one little boy called his friend and put him on FaceTime and had me telling him what I was just telling him, and he was so I guess distraught by it. He went and told his daddy. His daddy came, got on FaceTime, and was like yelling at me, telling me that Jesus is gonna take the breath out of my body. He was just real mad. And so I really thought about it and was like, dang, should I be just telling people's kids that Jesus ain't real? But I'm like, hey, they asking me. I'm going to be honest with them. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm saying, when I'm talking to them about it, though, and showing them the references as it is with the Zodiac, a lot of them are acquainted a little bit, at least with the Zodiac, and at least to know what Zodiac constellation that they're born under. So at least that. And so when you can show them who Leo is in the Bible and who Aquarius is and who Pisces is and what it means, and they're Pisces, they're more drawn to that. And so it's really easy to show them. So when you can show them all the scriptures that link to that Pisces and the Cancer and all this stuff, they'll be like, wow, I never thought about that. You know, like, and you know, in my Tony Baker voice, I never knew, you know. But at the same time, you enlighten
really, Kevin?
And they, really? Yeah, really, man. I like Tony Baker. I really like Tony Baker. I'm a Tony Baker kick, man. I've been watching all his stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man. But nah, like, at the end of the day, man, like I said, you know, 12, 13 years old, man, they have a lot of the same questions that of the stuff that you bring in front of them that they not really getting answers on. So I'm really excited about that, man. In about 5, 10 years, man, you're not gonna be able to make it to 15 years old, not hearing the other side of the story. At least somebody gonna be done told you that you was worshiping, you know, a white man's god or something. You gonna hear something to that effect. Jesus is plagiarized. You ain't gonna get old and not hear this. You know what I mean? Unless you just totally like pulled away from all of that and you just go to church and don't get online. But nah, it's gonna be virtually impossible.
On the internet, you done. Like you done.
Yeah, it's over, man. Yeah. And your friends gonna get on the internet, so somebody gonna tell you. Like you gonna hear it somewhere. Whereas
Kev,
when we grew up, we didn't hear this
everything stuff. Now. So when somebody have a religious debate, they're gonna be like, "Is Jesus real?" And all this stuff gonna pop out. And yeah. It's gonna be a rap. It's gonna be a rap, man.
Like, it's gonna be a rapture.
Look, hey, my son wore the Born Winners shirt to school the other day, man. They had dress down day, and I was like, "What you want to wear to school?" And he was like, "I want to wear the Born Winners shirt, Dad." I was like, "Okay, well, shoot, go ahead and wear it." Yeah, and I taught him what it means. I taught him what I was like, you know why that S is covered up? I taught him the whole thing, man. Like my son know what's up, man. He ain't scared, man. You know what's up. He'll tell you too.
Man, Ricky, that mean a lot to me, man. Honestly, bro, that's powerful. Yeah. I keep saying, man, if we teach our children, man, what we wish we would have known growing up, that's how you know you're doing good parenting. When you be like, man, I wish somebody would have told me. That's what you need to be teaching your kids. That's those jewels. That's those Jordans. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's that expensive stuff that you think is really love for your child. That's not what it is. What it is knowledge. Give your child the stuff that you know you wish you would have known. Your child will be so much better for knowing it at that age, man. Yeah, that's powerful right there.
Yeah, man. My son free, bro. He free, man. He just we don't like listen. Like what's up, Callie, man? I see you in the chat, bro. Like what's going on, King Callie? in the chat. But man, like I'm at work, like when people that know me and they know me at work and they know it, like they don't know this Rick. They know the business, corporate Rick. So and I'm a very nice guy. Like I speak to people. I say I'm very professional. I'm very courteous. So when I encounter people, and they get to know me, and we had a conversation, like a young lady I work with worked right next to me. I was like, you don't want to have this conversation. And she's like, yes, I do. She was like, you ain't gonna ruin my faith, because she was like, if I allow you to ruin my faith, that means my faith wasn't strong in the first place. I was like, okay, if you give me about 30 minutes, you ain't never gonna be the same. And she was like, okay, let's have the conversation. So we had the conversation. A couple days later, she was like, I was tossing and turning in my bed. I couldn't sleep. She was like, why did you do that to me? And I was like, I tried to tell you that you didn't want to have this conversation because you wasn't going to be the same, because you can't unhear the information. Go look it up. Go look it up. She's like, I didn't know it, but you know what? Those first couple of days was agonizing for her, but you know what? She's free now, and she's like, thank you, Rick. Man. I feel. At first I was a little torn up about it, but she's like, now I get to go do a lot of things that I didn't think I was able to do, and I was like, because she thought they were sins, and I'm like, man, live your life. You ain't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? Do what you ain't gotta feel guilty. Like, but it ain't even the fact that we want to do. Like, man, most of us can. We more righteous than the Christians anyway. Look at me talking about not watching football again, and when Christians watch football, they want to watch people get broke up. They want to watch boxing. They want to watch all these MMA violent sports, people hurting each other and breaking each other limbs and busting each other over there. They want to watch all this violent stuff, but they're so holy though. And I was just sitting there, I just cut up my Auburn jersey, man. You know how much I love Auburn? You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm done though, man. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I don't need it.
Absolutely. We need more people like you, bro. I'm telling you, man. I feel honored to have you as a friend, man. Just to share fact, like I said, the way you say you taught your son, the meaning of that and all that stuff, man. That's powerful to me. Um, I always say, man, if we do reincarnate, man, I'd rather have a pop like you, because I don't want to grow up in religion ever again. I'm telling you right now. And so the relief I have just that your son know that this, hey, you ain't sitting here like, but what I'm gonna do because his mama, you don't have that problem because your child with you, you know. And I understand for a lot of people, they're not in that position to be able to give it to their child like that. But I'm telling you, in any way that you possibly can, that'll be the greatest gift you can give your child, man. Is the ability to think for themselves, man, to not be no slave to what this world is telling them to believe in. I'm telling you, that right there will go a long way with your child, because you sparing them a lot of heartache and a lot of wasted time, like you really are. And I mean, I promise you, just think about what you went through, and the conviction and the guilt that you feel and that you felt as a Christian. Just think about it. All the times that you was trying your best to live up to whatever this God's standard was or whatever. And if you didn't get what you was praying for, you found some kind of way to blame yourself for, even if it was just a thought or whatever. And it's so crazy. It's like you guilty all the time. And stress is like the number one killer. And so what stress does to the mind. There's so many people who feel like God mad at them, trying to get in a good relationship with God again. And then as soon as they make a mistake, they feel like their relationship is severed now. They got to get back in good terms with this dude again. And it's like a person who designed you and knows every mistake you're going to make wouldn't do that. That's really stupid. Like, I know you're going to do this right here. You're going to slip up and have sex with your boyfriend before you get married to him next Thursday. And I'm going to withdraw myself from you. And then, you're going to pray about it and, fast and pray for 3 months. And then I'm going to get back tight with you again. No, God would do that. And we don't think this stuff through. You know what I mean? We say this person knows us more than we know ourselves, but he get mad at us and got a hell for us. And to grow up with that type of thinking, man, and to actually force yourself to believe, knowing that crap don't make sense, that he love everybody, but if you don't love him back, he gonna burn you forever. Like, that we know it don't make sense, but somehow we make ourselves say, well, he don't put you in hell, you put yourself in hell. Well, who made hell? Like, come on, think about it.
There you
And
go.
so it's like, and as children and on into adulthood, it sticks. And before you know it, man, it's hard to talk somebody out of believing in this
Yeah.
stuff. And
Just
but
think
when they
it's the
finally
hell.
get it, they look at all the time loss and the pain they went through, and you just saved your child from a world of heartache, man. That's again, man. I salute you for that, for real. That's
No,
even
man.
I
I
don't even
mean,
want to use
I
the
just gotta
term that the
keep it
soldiers
real.
use, but
Yeah,
yeah.
his mom believes Kevin, and what you said to me last week, man. Like I didn't even, bro. I didn't even know I didn't even know you thought of me in that way, bro. Like that was totally, you just totally caught me off guard when you said like, like man, what you said, bro. Like I was just like, I was shocked. I didn't know what to say, man. I was speechless, man. You know what I mean? Like I just figured like what I was doing for you, man. Like it was nothing. Like you know what I mean? Because like it didn't even occur to me. I was like, you need the donation, man. So let me open up the thing. Like it was nothing for me to do. Like you know what I mean? Like I put myself out there. Like when you do this and you put yourself out for ridicule, like you have to understand like this is not easy. This is not an easy thing to do to come on here every week and do this. And like people they gonna look at information you giving and they gonna try to critique your information. Like first of all, I don't really care because you can criticize me or scrutinize me all you want and I'm just still gonna be me. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna put a video up and not think and not think that someone's gonna disagree with it or have something to say about it. I'm perfectly okay with that. I stand on what it is that I stand on, man. But when you spoke those words, man, of gratitude, towards me, man, and saying that our relationship was going to continue. You didn't see us ever, separating. Like that was big, man, because you don't come across too many real people, man, in your life that you guys continue to go forth, through life together, man. So for you to say that to me, a person that I don't have many friends, because I mean, I'm a good guy, man, but like I'm real. Like I'll tell you, like listen, you need to get it together. So sometimes that causes a rift between me and the other person. But I don't do it out of hate or out of disrespect. I do it out of love. But the other person just doesn't all the time receive it. So, but for you to say that, man, that meant a lot to me, man, and I do thank you, man. And I don't want to downplay it. And then for you to say what I'm teaching my son, that means a lot to you, man. I thank you, but I can only keep it real. I can't keep it real with y'all if I can't keep it real with my own kid. If I can't keep it real with his mother, you know what I mean. So I don't like confrontation and I don't like arguments, but man, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. And I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna tell you what it is, whether it affects our relationship or not. But I'm not ever going to do it in a disrespectful manner. And if I do, I'm not too big to apologize if I do hurt your feelings or if I do say something wrong to you. I'm not, so big headed where I can't say that, what, I was wrong. I'm sorry. So I will do that. But yeah, man, thank you, man. I like, dude, like just having you as a friend, Josh, man, all you are everybody in the chat, man. This is a cool little community, a cool little family, and I'm just honored and privileged to just be a part of all of this myself, man.
I tell you, bro, like, and I don't. That's not something I even say often. It's only when I just know. I feel like I just know when I know that I'm gonna have somebody in my life for the long term, man. I know that in my life I ain't met really a whole lot of good, decent people. I can say that, but I still know them when I see them. Like Josh has said the same thing, and just you can pretty much just tell our relationships A1. It has been, always will be, and definitely Callie. Like I met Callie, said the same thing to him, man. Callie is one of those type of people, Ricky. This man sits his children down and he has them before he was teaching now. Like Callie tripped up into teaching it on accident. Like Callie's just so passionate about what he was learning and he just gonna teach what he know to the point now where people just come to Callie for knowledge now. And
Mm-hmm.
so Callie now is getting a lot of information because he has to now. Like you say, people gonna always critique what you say and listen to what you say. They're gonna definitely keep you on your toes. And we all happen into this. Like you said, it's like you didn't expect to hear from me. I didn't expect to go viral like that. And I'm sure in Cali, he hit me up like, man, if you just need me to record anything for you, as far as videos, he records. As far as with a camera and all, he's done all my music videos except for like maybe two.
Yeah.
But we got together. He always does it. Always shows up on time. Like I got a bundle of money for him. I mean, the dude is very, man. Just he honestly he a beast. but I mean, he does good quality work. He let me sit there with him and tell him every little part. Most people don't even want you to do that. I come right to his crib and sit there and be like, okay, delete that part. So you just use that one over that one. Yeah. They rather do that. But he'd be like, man, we get together, we make magic together. And I mean, like I said, this man sits. When I first met this man, he was sitting his children down, having them watch my videos, Young Pharaoh videos, and like a lot of other teachers' videos, having his children watch them because he was like, I ain't prepared to teach this yet. Yeah. But I mean, that's what he did. He had his kids sitting in front of YouTube videos showing them this stuff, because he couldn't, if he felt like he couldn't explain it that well. That's what I mean, man. You take that sense of urgency, the stuff that you learning now that you know is changing your life and is better for your life, and give that to your kids. That's the most powerful gift. Like I promise you, like I call y'all friends, but in another world, bro, I would have loved to have daddies like y'all. I promise you, somebody who really in your life. And I ain't have that. I'm saying I didn't have that, so that's why I say I got so much respect for y'all, man. Like really, really take the time to be teaching your kids some stuff, not just sending them a toy, every Christmas or something, just so you can say you did something. You know what I mean? I'm talking about really being there for your child, man. And I love that. You don't understand how much that means to me.
I'm always,
despite how I grew up, I'm gonna be a better father than mine was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't see my father, man. I haven't seen my father a day in my life, bro. My mom, pretty much abandoned. She's still alive, and she pretty much abandoned me and my two sisters when I was young. So it's just like everything that I talk about, man. Like I've been through it, man. I've had every excuse to be, just a terrible person. You know what I mean? So like a lot of pain, a lot of like even growing up, people have mistreated me that I've tried to help. You know what I mean? So like I could just be this angry, bitter person and just say I ain't helping nobody. Like I said, I've had a lot of people in and out of my house. I've let live here for free and just a lot of stuff, man. Like that I've had to deal with, and I've tried to help people, but like I'm just saying, like I never seen my dad, and that's still a. I'll be 39 years old in November, and like I'm still affected by that. You know what I mean? Like so when I know people ain't never seen their dad before, they had no father in their life. I'm like that's not a thing that you can just look over, man. Like for some people, it may not mean too much. It means a lot, man. Like it means a lot to not have a father, man. So my son, I've been there for him thick and thin. I'm out until I die. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always be there for him. And I've always looked out for him, not just with teaching him things, but just his future, man, and just helping develop him and just making sure, something's here in case I have to leave. You know what I mean? So I've looked out for him in every aspect, man. So you just don't know how much that means to me, man. You shit, I would have loved to have a dad like you. You know what I mean? So I mean, it goes both ways, man. And in Cali, man, he's good people, but I never thought I would, be doing this. And thanks to everybody, your support, your likes, share this video, like this video, go to PayPal and donate $2, $5, whatever you can. That video I did, that stream I did last week, man. Thanks to everybody for your positive energy and your support and just allow me to do that because it wasn't very well prepared. I would have liked to have more time to prepare. I was going to do it on my channel, which I mean, it's my channel, you know what I mean? But when you come and do something on someone else's channel, like that makes it even more a little more nerve wracking because you're like, man, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to say the wrong thing, you know what I mean? So it's more pressure, you know what I mean, to do this on somebody else's platform. So I mean, I was a little shaky last week, but I appreciate the fam coming through and just making me feel a little more comfortable.
Indeed, man. I know we getting to a point to where we about to wrap it up. Of course, it's getting late, but y'all done kind of got me emotional, and I definitely don't want to leave out pay homage and Lee Sean and Eden and all of y'all, man, who just be showing me love, not just on here, but I'm talking about reach out to me on my personal lines and check on me all the time, all this kind of stuff, man. Like I lost a lot of all my friends when I walked away from religion, man. Like the people I grew up calling my family member, they was my church members. I lost every one of them. So all of them I looked at like brothers and sisters and family, man, I lost every one of them. And I'm telling you, man, like the few good people that I met after walking away, man, I do it again, bro. Like, and people be like, well, I saw somebody post earlier, like I enjoy social media and all that stuff, but I want real friends too. Like, man, y'all my real friends. Like, can't nobody tell me no different. I don't gotta shake your hand and and see you face to face to say I don't know you. Like that's that no, that's just your avatar anyway. What would I know? I wouldn't tell me anything more about you to say I saw you in the flesh. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, one day that's gonna happen. But I'm saying, like, I honestly feel like this real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, people say that, it's social media, but nah, a lot of y'all, I know y'all really genuinely have my back, and y'all know I really genuinely have yours. And it's outside of a like, a comment, or a share.
Yeah.
Like, we know that. So we just like that's why I keep saying actions speak louder than words. And those of y'all who y'all know who y'all are out there, who know me personally, that's why I rock with all of y'all, because y'all don't just talk. We really about to really change the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wish everybody can get on board with that. Like, I wish everybody get on board with that, because I mean the world just be a whole lot better with if more people like us was willing to stick together, man, and make our own dreams and prayers come true. We already know what we up against, and so we know what we have to do. The main thing is just doing it. You know what I mean? And I feel like we growing every day. I think that's powerful that we're growing every single day
Man, that's beautiful.
in number. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's beautiful. But hey man, I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna try not to get fired from my job. But even if I do, bro, I'm just gonna become an entrepreneur. Like, it ain't gonna stop me, you know what I mean? But yeah, everything's great, man. Like what you saying is spot on, Kev. And I know we about to go ahead and wrap this up, man. All I want to say is, man, is we need to build the world that we want to live in, and then we don't need to be escaping through all of these movies. Real quick, man, before I get out of here, man, I just want to do this little segment that I wrote, and basically it's spot on, man, with what we talking about. So I wrote this little piece, man, and I said, in in an attempt to decrease frivolity and to focus on things more substantial, I extract the phrase to ensure domestic tranquility from the preamble. Now I'm gonna ask that you open up your minds and your hearts so that we don't get caught up in semantics. Cause see, I love America, but sometimes her antics leave me feeling like I'm a hopeless romantic. Now, what I'm saying makes you a little uncomfortable in your seat, then maybe it's time you get on your feet and stand up. But I'm always pointing the finger back at me to ask, what have you done? And what difference does it make if you help just one? It makes all the difference in the world to that one. If I throw a pebble in the lake, does it not make a ripple? And all of these problems in the world that seem so complex, can the solution be that simple? It's past time that we put down the remote and cancel your Hulu because there's so much work to do. You see, these problems are plentiful, but the laborers are few. And all of these issues in society, in my life, in your life, we could easily fix if we wasn't so betwixt with Netflix and Amazon Fire Sticks. So as we spend a little bit of time that we have on this earth in an attempt to be immortalized, I'm just trying to change the world through my son's eyes. And that's basically it. We got to stop the entertainment. We got to be willing to do the work, and we can change everything, man. So with that being said, you always know what I say. The only gods that we need is each other, and the only God that I need is you. And I'll let you have the last words, Kev.
And that was actually really powerful, bro. I'm gonna have to get you to do that again one day. For real, for real. That was powerful. Um, so yeah, man, I just want to thank everybody for coming and joining us tonight. We're definitely gonna continue on this topic on another segment as well. Hopefully Ricky can come back with us next week until I can actually be able to get on my show and stuff again. I gotta actually drive to do it. Pay homage allows me to use his facility right now for my show, because I don't have internet where I live. I'm in a really really bad country spot, and for those of you who know, I was having to like rent hotel rooms just to do the show, and so Pay Homage allows me to use his spot. And so until the doctor say I can drive, I can't. So if Ricky's available next week, you guys will be getting acquainted with Ricky again. It seems so far everybody loves him. I'm glad about that. And I was gonna do a whole rundown and tell every one of y'all that I consider my close friends. I love y'all personally. I was gonna start with Josh, but I was gonna say, because actions speak louder than words, I know I don't have to say a word, because I know what's understood don't need to be explained. So be the evolution, be the change you want to see, and no candle loses its flame. by lighting another. Peace, family.
All right, good night. We'll definitely see y'all next week. All right, peace.
All right, peace out.